Today's game brought to you by John Duff & Co, Koo Wee Rup Community Bank, Royal Hotel Koo Wee Rup, and Tank Formers.
Welcome to Koo Wee Rup, Country Footy Live, coming to you on C31 Sport. Koo Wee Rup taking on Cora Lynn today. Sit back and absorb all country footy action in the comfort of your own lounge room. I'm Daryl Pittman and I'm joined as always by Ian Benny Bennett.
Yeah, g'day Daryl, and you're right, country footy ground. The ground is rung by cars. There's plenty of people in and we're just hoping it's going to be a great day.
Looking forward to a big game. Koo Wee Rup taking on Cora Lynn, a man who knows a lot about both clubs and a fair bit about footy. Our special guest commentator for the day, Aussie Jones. Aussie, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Good to be here. It is a massive crowd. I got here about 1:30. I'm parked about 400 metres away. So a real big rivalry between the two clubs. Obviously, the weather's held out at the moment. Should be a cracker. Looking forward to it.
Aussie, of course, well known to St Kilda supporters. 226 AFL games, all Australian representative twice, and also a great background in coaching country footy clubs.
Yeah, straight after the Saints went to Narry to join a mate for a couple of years. We had a bit of success, won a couple of flags, and wanted to take coaching a little bit further. Went out to Gippsland, did some with my local home club originally at Beaconsfield, and then got a pretty exciting challenge up at Bendigo and coached a couple of years in the VFL. We were under-resourced. We were up against AFL clubs. Didn't pan out well, but it was a really enjoyable year. I coached a group of young men that gave everything they possibly had against more talented sides that were spending 3 or 4 times the amount of money. They just enjoyed it and soaked up the challenge every week.
We were lucky, Dags. We got somebody who knows something about footy. One of us does anyway.
Looking forward to your incisive comments throughout the afternoon, Aussie, and to helping us background these two clubs. Two clubs with great histories and a great tradition of rivalry. It was raining, but it's stopped now. To tell us more about what's happening out there and exactly what it feels like, it's welcome to our boundary rider, Sean Rogash.
G'day Daryl, thanks very much. As you mentioned, it has been some rain through the reserves match, through the second half particularly, but the good news is the ground has held up really well. It's in great condition really, considering down here. And looking up to the sky, there's a little bit of grey still around. There's a bit of wind too, so if we do get a shower or two, we should be okay. It should blow over pretty quickly. So I'm looking forward to a really tough, hard, contested game. There's no roof down here at Coralin, at Koo Wee Rup. So hopefully the showers stay away.
But a pretty good crowd building, and you'll be amongst them during the day, no doubt, Sean.
A fantastic crowd so far, and they were getting pretty vocal through the second half of the reserves there too. So if we're in for a close game, I'm sure we'll hear them.
Thank you, Sean. Sean Rogash doing the honours down there at ground level for us this afternoon here at Koo Wee Rup. Well, as I say, two clubs with a great tradition of rivalry, and during the week, Benny caught up with the secretary of the Koo Wee Rup Footy Club, Gary King.
Tell us a little bit about the history of the Koo Wee Rup Footy Club.
Well, it's pretty easy. I mean, we started out in 1903. We're 113 years old. We've been in and out. We didn't play football during the 2 war periods, but we've never stopped playing football. We played in a number of different leagues because where we're situated, the leagues have changed from time to time. But we've won some early premierships during the 20s and 30s with the farmers who would come out of the paddocks actually to play football. We won premierships then. We won a premiership in 69, 79, 80 we were runners up. 81 we won a premiership again. But since then, unfortunately, it's been a bit of a dry period. But we hope that this year might be the year that we've got a team together that can really show that we're going to go places.
What is the character of the footy club?
The character football club is like all country football clubs. It's grassroots football with genuine grassroots people, always prepared to put in and always look. The volunteers that run football clubs throughout this country are so important to the game of football, and they should never ever be ignored because it's the volunteers that'll keep this type of football going.
And we also caught up with the press of the Coralin Football Club, Andrew Bergmeyer.
Coralin started in the 40s. They won a combined premiership with Catani in the Catani Federal competition at that time in 1942, when there weren't enough men in the district to play as a single entity. And that was the first and last premiership that Coralin won until 1986. But in those 40-odd years that Coralin played, they survived with the help of farmers in the area, and we're mainly potato farming at Coralin. And the farmers used to put in a certain amount each year from the harvest, which enabled and that became the majority of our revenue. At the back of me, there's a 15-acre farm that the farmers used to farm for the club, and the harvest of the potatoes went into the club's revenue. But suddenly in the year probably 2000, that stopped, in the sense that the bottom fell out of the potato market. And our other major revenue raiser at that time was hay. So I came into the club as president at around 2000, and the first thing I saw when I walked in was the $15,000 of revenue that we were expecting from potatoes, and the sometime probably matching that revenue in hay had suddenly fallen away. So we were in a bit of a spot, we were in a bit of a pickle, and that was probably from the year 2000 to 2005 could be considered to be our dark years. We were struggling for money, we were struggling for players, we were struggling for juniors, and we were struggling for coaches. So in 2006, we recruited Chris Toner from Narre Warren, who proved to us that you can be a success on the field. He recruited and was responsible for a turnaround in our senior team. This meant that we won the 2008 premiership, and we played off in grand finals in 2009 and 2010. He left our club, and we got another coach in by the name of Trav Marsham, who was also instrumental in two premierships in 2014 and 2015. So we're actually going for a three-peat this year under the capable tutelage of David Main, our senior coach. But what our biggest emphasis is on our Pathways program with the juniors, our value of respect, because we believe that that's what we need to show to our community, and also our community volunteers who are absolutely necessary to the sustainability of our club.
And we're all set for a start here at Koo Wee Rup. And they're a bit towy already, Benny, the players out there.
They've been out there for a while, that's the major thing, and they will be towy.
Bit of pushing and shoving, but all set for the big clash here. Koo Wee Rup taking on Cora Lynn in the Ellinbank District Football League. Country Footy Live on C31. And up they go. No one got their hand to it early. The big fella down there in Scott Horton's got hold of it, but they get hold of him, lock him up, and it'll be another ball up right in the middle.
The breeze has desisted a little bit, but Koo Wee Rup are the ones that will be kicking with the breeze in the first quarter. Umpire moved that quickly. Up they go again. Main got the tap out on this occasion. They're working hard in there to try to get the footy out. Quick handpass. That comes out. That was Kerrigan that's got hold of it. Goes long. Kick towards the goals. Just misses. First score on the board, though.
How important's a good start, Aussie?
Oh, especially in these games, they're always really hardly fought, always really tightly contested. So a side that can get away early might just be enough, especially if the rain comes in a bit later on.
Oh, here's a bit of a blue. Tried to play on from fullback, got tagged, but eventually got it off. Over towards Tim Payne, the skipper. Kicks it out to half-back flank, and the Cobras are away now. In towards the middle they go. It's just inside the centre square. Little hand pass coming out on that occasion from Healy. Loose footy again. Over the ball was Chris McKay. Tried to work his way through traffic. Did it well in the end. Left foots it up towards the centre wing.
Over the back it goes, but it beats a number of them. But there's a chance now for the Demons to go forward. Oh, it was going to be a long kick, but it was a scrubber in the end. Got to the centre of the ground. It was picked up by Ricky Clark, disposed of, and now the ball out to the half-forward line. Over there's Miller, but the boundary line beat them to it. It'll be a throw-in. It's a hot and cracking pace to start with, Aussie.
Yeah, it is. A little bit scrappy, a couple of basic turnovers, but again, the physicality, the pressure, the importance of this game will determine that early.
Up they go, tapped down to the front there by Cal Terry. for the Demons. Loose footy again. Work it towards the forward pocket down there for Koo Wee Rup. Ball to be thrown in.
Bit too much of AFL football there. One of the players calling for the deliberate. We don't need that, do we?
Oh, it spreads through country footy pretty quick, what we see on TV on Friday and Saturday nights, that's for sure.
So now the ball comes out. It was got it across in the end to Allen. He's linked it up, but not handling the ball cleanly, trying to get through his Maggio, but he couldn't get through. The Demons again go forward. Long kick by, was that Tim Miller? Long shot at goal. What's he done? He stuck it through for another minus shot at goal. So they're 2 points to 0.
Hive of activity down here this afternoon too. Netball is over in the background there. Centre of the community as the ball's booted back to centre half back. Good mark here. Cobras now just working it in towards the middle, but in the way on that occasion was Phil Backman. Loose footy again. Unable to take it away with him was White. They battle for the ball and eventually wobbly old kick sends it up towards half forward. Nearly a mark on the chest by Nathan Langley. Didn't hold it long enough. Umpire says play on. Gillies has got it.
Ryan Gillies comes in and shoots long into the pocket. Galante's there. He's got to pick it up. Sorry, it was Giuliano that tried to pick it up but couldn't. And over the boundary line. Nearly a good opportunity for them.
Yeah, they were disappointed they didn't maximise that one. Giggs, as he's known, or Giuliano, had a little bit of time there, but just didn't come off for Coralin.
In comes the footy.
Forward pocket here for Cora Lynn. Just 2 behinds on the board at this stage of the game. As seeing it over the line there was Ben Miller.
I know the 3 Collins boys from Kooi Rup won't be too keen for Giuliano from Coralin to get too much of the footy. He's marrying their sister, so a little bit of an insight into the players.
Well, there you go.
Know each other well on opposition teams.
Ball comes back into play, goes over the back of the pack here. But they're trying to get hold of the footy, and Kooi Rup to do so. Taking it out to half-back, bouncing kindly out there, but tackle late. It was a good one, and the ball to the boundary line for a throw-in. There you can see the cars ringing the ground. Looks good, doesn't it?
Yes, the crowd all went for cover when it rained before, but plenty of people under the shelter over there and scattered right round the ground. Ball thrown in. 2 behinds to no score. Kooi Rup the leaders at this early stage of the game. Again, pack of players around the footy, and it'll be another ball up. Half forward flank here for Coralin.
So up she goes. Horton gets a tap out straight to the ground. No, he has to go and do the roving. Does that, gets one out, and in the end it was kicked by Maggio, but it didn't go the 10 metres, so they go in hard for the ball once more. Plenty of players around it. Jumping in top of it was Wilby. He gets underneath and gets another possession, but it's not a great one. Comes out, but then it gets held up again. The umpire will have to ball it up, surely. He does.
So still no goal on the board. Been playing just over 5 minutes in the first quarter of this Ellinbank clash. Whistle on play. We'll see a Coralin free kick. It'll be taken back here by Jason Tone.
Tone gets the foot in, delivers it towards Gillies. 2 bites of the cherry, but recovers. He's a classic player getting in there for the ball. He lays a tackle in the end. Is it a free kick on play? Yeah. So now they're going to bring the ball towards the centre wing position. Healy was the one that got in first, then picking up was Wilby. They get on top of him and they hold the footy up. It'll be a ball up.
No space, is there? There's no space there. They're really tight game. Horton for Kooi Rup getting his hands on every hit out.
As he did again then, and he's over it again. A little kick only goes a few inches. Finally, cramp for room. They centre it back in towards the centre wing. Good mark taken down there by Jack Allen, and we've seen this fella play some good games. Allen now, defensive side of the centre square. Kicks it high. High flyers wanted. Fished it away on the back on that occasion by Miller. Trying to gather it in was Helsby. Couldn't take it with him. Hot potato at the moment. Came over here towards Ryan Wilby. They work it towards the line and they'll see it over. Nearly over on the full. Okay, says the ump, throw it in.
So it's right on centre wing. And we've been playing 6.5 minutes. Ball thrown into the plate, comes down. White was knocked off the footy. But they go in once more for the ball. Underneath it, Josh Winter for Koo Wee Rup. But they lay the tackle. How did that come out? But it did. So now a little hand pass, and it'd be Koo Wee Rup to go forward.
There's the kick in towards half forward. A little push away. Scouting beautifully down there was Don Mullen. Taken with the footy was Caltieri. Mullen after it again, and they see it over the line and out. And we've seen a little bit of shenanigans in both the under-18s and the reserves. Great rivalry here, Aussie.
Pretty short odds we'll get some more, I reckon, in the senior game as well.
Ball gets thrown into, and it was Caltieri that got the tap down, but now it's Cora Lynn able to move the ball towards that centre wing position. 2-on-2 duel here. But good work that time by Chris Mackay. Uses his strength well and pace. Up they go. That was high-flying Langley. Kick over the back. It's going to bounce through. Gillis puts the first on the board there for Cora Lynn.
The Cobra boys all getting around Justin McCleary just at centre half back, put on a really, really strong spoil, and that was probably the best opportunity that either side have had because the ground was open. Coralin had the footy on our near side here, but they did switch it, took it out the far side, and then they had a lot of open space, and although Langley didn't take the mark, which would have been a cracker, the ball come to ground, and there wasn't a heap of numbers. Kooi didn't have time to get their midfielders back, so it was open, they had the space, and Gillis, surprise, surprise, loves a goal. He didn't look for a handball there, it was straight on the boot.
He is a flamboyant character, to say the least, Aussie.
Up she goes and to the ground underneath the pack. There's the veteran Ricky Clark and wins the free kick.
He's just Rico. He's getting a fair bit of attention from Kooi Rup, but nothing he won't be used to.
So Ricky Clark. Had some great games for Gembrook that we've covered over the years. Chips it over to White. White now in towards centre half forward. Opportunity for Ben Miller to take it with him. Couldn't do so. The hand pass came out. Cramp for room back there was Tim Miller. Finally they work it away. Ben Miller again. Long hand pass. Opportunity over here towards the centre wing now. They work it towards the line. And he kept it in well on that occasion, Walden.
Yeah, but they get on top of Stacks on the mill out in the outer wing. The umpire's blown his whistle, you ball it up. So out there on that other side, ball thrown to the air. It was knocked down that time by Cameron. The ball to the boundary line, it'll be thrown in on that outer side.
The grey skies above at the moment here, but at least it's dry. And it comes. Centre wing. One goal plays, two behinds. Coralin with the only major to date. There's all the cars around the ground here to watch a good game of country footy on a Sunday afternoon.
Out there on the Royal Hotel wing. So the ball thrown back into play. Over the back it comes. Still plenty of players around the footy. David Main got his boot onto the ball and sent it forward for the Cobras. But the Koo Wee Rup back line working well there. Take it towards the boundary line to be thrown in.
So goals at a premium so far, Aussie.
Yeah, they have been. I thought Koo Wee Rup did start well, but Coralin's probably just ahead with the momentum at the moment. But again, neither side really maximising their ball use. So
again, loose footy on the centre wing, and they force another ball up. One goal plays, two behinds. We've been playing 10 and a half minutes in the first quarter of this Ellinbank and District Football League clash. First versus third, so plenty riding on this game as the Cobras try to run the ball out of the middle now. Having to dodge around the umpire there was Maggio. Whistle on play here, and it's going to be a Coralin free kick.
And a 50 to go in with it because he didn't throw back to the player who earned the free kick. It's wasting time, says the ump.
Costly, isn't it? You know, just throwing the ball back wrong. The umpire will give you a second or two to make sure you throw it back to the wrong player. The Koo Wee Rup player, honestly, I think got that wrong, but it's costly in such a tight start to a game that he gives Coralin a shot from 10 metres out.
So this should be a simple goal. You would think that he would put this through.
So Nick Helsby, from only about 15 out, dead in front, makes no mistake. Cobras get their second.
Yeah, good player, Halsby. He's been at Coralin for a while. He's a tough inside mid, but does hit the scoreboard when he goes inside 50 as well. You can get under the radar a little bit because he's probably not one of the main names that opposition teams will focus on. Obviously, they've got Clark and Nathan Gillis, probably the main two through the middle. So he can be the one, if he's not being that defensive player, very, very good defensively with his tackling, that will get forward and kick a goal.
So back in the centre. And the ball is thrown into the air once more. Just came down, trying to burst through the Coralin centre line, but underneath it, the coach, David Main, and he was collared with the footy, so it'll be another ball up. So has not moved more than a metre after that last goal.
Well, that one shower that we promised by the Weather Bureau, we're just having a repeat performance. We had that one shower earlier. Now it's they're replaying it.
Main now delivering the footy in towards half forward. Straight down the centre, but chance now for the defence to work hard. But good defensive work by the forwards of Coralin. They'll see the ball turned over, free kick going the Cobras' way, and another chance at shooting at goal.
So it'll be Helsby again who kicked that last one. Looks for the pass. Gillies the target down there. Couldn't quite take it.
Get
Ryan
the free
Gillis.
kick, though.
He's got the free kick. Whistle on play.
Bit of undue attention, but you reckon he's not milking that as well?
It's probably a bit of both. Brody Yap, the fullback there from Kooi Rup, doesn't mind a little bit of physicality. Gillis had already dropped it, and then he sort of went a bit late, so probably didn't need to do it, but Gillis will have that in the back of his mind for the rest of the day. There might be another one coming.
Well, Ryan did promise us before the game, Aussie, that he'd turn it on today for us.
That's surprising. Ryan said he was probably going to be best on ground. He says it every week, and a lot of the times he's in the top throw.
So Ryan Gillies comes in, puts the ball on its way. He's a full forward, he's a sharpshooter, he's put it through.
Okay, well, good start here to Kooi Rup in their clash, to Coralin at least in their clash against Kooi Rup. And we've got Sean Rogash down there with the brolly.
Yeah, I've got the brolly out. The rain has started to come down quite heavily now, halfway through this first quarter. You can see the crowd behind me, though. It hasn't deterred spirits here at the Demons Bar. They're still out and they're still pretty boisterous, so it's good to hear.
Good on you, Sean. Get amongst it, mate.
I'm trying my best.
Back in the centre. Ball goes down and knocked further afield there for Kooi Rup, but now they're going to go forward. It's a long kick in towards the goal area.
And the rainbow's out in the background as fending off the defence there was the big fella Mitch Collins, and he threaded through Kooi Rup's first goal of the day.
I coached Mitchie in 2010. He was maybe a little bit lighter at the time, but you could just see his aggressive play then. He with the fend off, and to me it was like he had to make a point for his side. It was really aggressive. He had to take control. It was one opportunity, and not only did he sort of fend off a couple of Coralin players, but finished brilliantly, and they're fair to say Kooi Rup needed it.
We've seen them play a couple of good games for Belgrave.
Yeah, the boys
too, Aussie.
Yeah, they're loyal to each other. Dave obviously as well, and Ben and Mitch. They did a good job up at Belgrave. And from what I can hear, although Kooi Rup's been really competitive the last couple of years, I think they've got them probably playing the best type of footy that will give them a chance to actually win a title rather than just sort of compete and play top four.
Back in the centre, Big Horton gets the tap down once more. It went through Ben Collins' hand, but he went a second time at the football. Hard at the ball, coming out of it was going forward is Kerrigan. Long kick down towards Collins. Can he mark that? He has. What a beauty.
Making his stamp on the game now.
Yeah, that's going to be the danger for Coralin if he gets the one-on-ones. I think that's when the second or third defender, Nate Muratore is really good at it, even Jazzy McClear, Ryland Smith, another one, they probably need to come off their man and be that third man into the contest.
So Mitch Collins for his second goal inside a minute and a half. Skips in. Oh, as he threaded that through, he's happy. Goal umpire went a long way, but that's the Demons' second.
Really clear to me. I thought when Kooi Rup were going okay early, Horton was in the ruck. They had to make the change. They put Matty Cameron into the ruck, and Coralin just took control of the midfield. Horton's gone back into the ruck in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and Kooi have kicked 2 very, very quick ones. That's going to be the key.
He's an important player, all right. Gets his hands on the footy first and gives his teammates plenty of opportunity.
One thing I've noticed in my time in the Ellinbank District Footy League is there's some really, really good ruckmen, but they're not giants. And that's where Scotty's probably got a little bit of difference here. He's probably a good 6'7", 6'8", and he's just using his height to the advantage at the moment.
Yeah, right. 6'7", that's a giant for me.
6'2" is a giant for us.
Exactly. Pretty short of the commentary team up here. Chance for Coralin now. Got it at half-back, but Koo Wee Rup. They've stepped right up in the last few minutes. Mitch Collins bringing them back into the game. It's at centre-half forward for the Demons. What can they conjure here? Nothing. Little kick along the ground. Defensive Coralin under plenty of pressure at the moment. Ball wrapped up over there. They force a ball up. No, it's a free kick, sorry.
Coralin's way. We've played 17.5 minutes of this first quarter, and they'll go to the outer side once more. The lead's on over there, punch from behind, ball bounces clear and towards the boundary line, and it's over for a throw in.
So it's out there on the outer wing at the moment.
The Royal Hotel wing, Dags.
The Royal Hotel wing, yes. Whoa! Copping one high over there on that occasion was Mark Aluja. And we're going to be seeing another Cobra free kick here. 14 plays, 18. It's the Cobras by just 4 points. As Giuliano couldn't hold on to that mark. He was our player of the day in last year's grand final.
Yeah, played some great footy.
Played a great game.
So the boundary umpire with the footy and heaving it back into play. Big Horton got the tap down once more to Koo Wee Rup's advantage. But going through hands at the present time, it's probably still a little bit slippery out there after that rain shower we had. They're wrestling for the footy, but it's going to be a ball up over there.
Well, of course, the Koo Wee Rup team, they've been watching too much AFL footy, mate. They've got the away strip on, even though they're at home. They usually wear the blue with the red yoke, the Melbourne colours. The ball comes in towards half forward for Cora Lynn. Marked down here by Giuliano. Giggs has the chance for the Cobras third.
Just about to be on the on his.
Yeah, just about his limit. He, if he strikes it well, Giggs is as good as kick a goal as Coralin has got. He'll back himself here.
Puts it on its way, but trying to get that distance, just went a little bit to the right and through from behind.
So 19 plays, 14 now. We've been playing 19.5 minutes in this first quarter here. It'll be Ben Miller to do the kicking in.
All congregated at centre-half back now, they're spreading.
See that John Duff and Co side on the fence, great supporters and sponsors of the Koo Wee Rup Football Club, as the ball's booted high, nearly reaches the centre wing. Jason Tone gathered it for Coralin. In towards half forward he goes. Opportunity here, but they slip over. Gillis can't pick it up. Eventually does so. Puts it on its way. It's gone across the face of goal. Demons with the numbers.
And they're going to come out from defence with the kick. It's going to be tough here to mark, and it was. Ball's punched over the boundary line. Good defensive work by the coach of Coralin.
This is an important time for Kooi Rup. Horton's come off for his break. Matty Cameron goes into the ruck. This is where Coralin took control last time around.
In it comes. Tap down to the front. Bit of volleyball taking place now. Gathering it down there was David Collins. The umpire has picked out a free kick. It'll go Collins' way.
Yeah, he reckons it was high.
Nathan Gillis taking plenty of time to get up off him. Collins with a footy here for the Demons.
He's at half back. And he's going to kick down the line. The lead's been made. It was by Caltieri, but it's over the back of the pack. But a kick off the ground sees it further forward for the Demons. Getting back there was Allen. Hand passed it over the top. Caltieri gets a handball across to Ben Collins, who tries to break his way through. They go in again, Caltieri. He's working hard, but it wasn't clean. Allen comes away with the footy, delivers it with the left foot to half forward.
Opportunity now here for the Cobras. Race to the footy. On the deck. Gillis just tapped it forward. Hand pass came over. Giuliano says thank you very much, but kicks right across the face in the end. His eyes lit up, missed everything.
Don't you hate that?
Oh, absolutely. That was a goal missed, absolutely, from Coralin. Giggs or Giuliano or Langley had an opportunity.
Ball comes back into play. Oh, flying over the back was Langley again. Got a great leap on him. Saw it that in the marking contest earlier and in that ruck contest then.
Yeah, he's got a great leap. I know in 2015 Travis Marsham used him really sparingly, but in the ruck just to give the other ruckman a little bit of a chop out, and definitely forward that leap becomes a real problem for defenders.
Special comments today coming to you from St Kilda legend Aussie Jones as Koo Wee Rup worked the ball out of defence now. That was a kicker was intended over there for Miller, but chopped off nicely here by the Cobras. They can set something up here. Opportunity there for Nathan Gillis. Kicks it in towards centre half forward. Plenty of players around the footy. Going in hard down there was Mark Alija. Umpire has blown the whistle.
Now we're starting to see it.
Now it's just short of quarter time. They think there's a need for a bit of a push and a shove.
The umpire's made a free kick, and it's Maculia. It's going to have a shot at goal from here. And the umpire just in control there. Both of them working out the little bit of a scuffle and the free kick.
So Justin Maculia or Makalija, probably a silent J, comes in right on the 50. Puts the ball on its way. It's gone right across. Off hands in the end, over and out for a throw in. The crowd getting back out of their cars now. The rain stopped.
23 minutes gone. Won't be long till quarter time as the balls are thrown in. Cameron got the tap down to the front of the pack, but getting under there is Ricky Clark. Gets a hand pass out, but they just can't move it away quickly. But there's a shot in towards a full forward area. Hands off hands, and it's going to be taken away, this time by Dyker, in towards half back, but mark taken by the Cobras, and they'll send it forward once more.
So the opportunity here for Dan Mullen, is it down there? David Main, at least. The skipper's just gone in close. Quarter time not far away here.
Nathan Gillis. Gillies with the footy, long into the goal square. Up they go. And it was off hands, but now it comes forward. Going again is Giuliano. Shot around the body. Great goal. Helsby's got one. Nicholas Helsby's got it and put it through.
Good team play from Coralin again. Just had a little bit more space inside their forward 50, and again it's happened when Horton's been off the ground. It's going to be an interesting one. They don't want to burn the big fella out, but there's a clear difference in the ability when he's off the ground.
Well, Nicholas and Gillis doing the damage up there for Coralin. 2 goals apiece so far in this quarter. So Coralin 4-2-26, Koo Wee Rup 2-2-14. Close to quarter time here in the Ellinbank and District Footy League match of the day. This special live Sunday clash coming to you via C31 Sport. The Demons surge forward again. Got it at half forward. What can they do here? The hand pass came over, could have sold his teammate into more trouble. That from Cal Terry. Loose footy again now. Terry again after it, after the footy. Slipped out. They've got players everywhere. Opportunity now for Kerrigan. High kick, sets it up. Collins is there. Couldn't mark it on that occasion. And they'll see it rush through for a behind.
You could really see the Coralin defenders getting back to try and spoil as the ball's now kicked back into play on that outer side. So it's going to be now another undisciplined act, and a 50-metre penalty will ensure. Just with a bit of time, you just can't run over the mark.
Koo Wee Rup had a spurt there, Aussie, but Coralin back in control.
Yeah, they'll always play a pretty settled brand of football, Coralin, and we've seen them settle a couple of times. I thought the first 3 or 4 minutes was Koo Wee Rup's way, and they just settled. They'll stick to their brand for the full game.
All thumped away there. The hand pass, quick one came over there on that occasion from Muratori. They work it in towards the attacking side of the centre square. Ball was flicked out. Miller came through, fed off the hand pass, but gee, I tell you what, you got to get rid of it quickly. They lock him up. Got away with it. It'll be a ball up.
for a big-sized ground, there's a lot of body contact in this game.
Yeah, I think it's probably the style of both teams. Definitely Koo Wee Rup. I reckon Coralin would probably enjoy a little bit more space, but it's probably been dictated to a little bit by Koo Wee at this stage.
And there you hear in the background the quarter time siren ringing out. At quarter time we have Coralin 4-2-26, Koo Wee Rup 2-3-15 in the Ellinbank and District Footy League match of the day. Well, your thoughts on that first term, Aussie?
I thought it was a good first quarter. As we spoke about a few times throughout the quarter, it was physical. It was a little bit scrappy, probably dictated to by the conditions a little bit. Even though the rain stopped, it was you could tell it was a little bit slippery. A couple of fumbles, a couple of poor kicks. Just some basic turnovers that both coaches, I'd imagine, will address at the break, but probably not too many surprises. It's the first time I've seen Scott Horton play, and I'm pretty impressive. I thought he was really, really good in the ruck contest, getting his hands on the footy. It'll be the hits to advantage that'll be the difference, though. They probably didn't really dominate the clearances, perhaps as he dominated the hit-outs, but there was a clear difference when he come off for a breather. I felt that's when Coralin really took control of the game, and probably across half forward, I think Koo Wee Rup can lift as well. I thought Jack Allen was good in that quarter. Jazzy McClear okay on Caltiri. Again, I know quite a few of these boys intimately. I coach Daniel Caltiri. He's as good an athlete as is running around in local football and should have more influence on games, but can just zone out, can switch off in games. He's one that I always felt when preparing for a game against him, if you could get on top of him early, that he'd have little influence. He's been held down, so it'll be interesting to see if he can fight back. For Koo Wee, Dave Collins has been really good, fought back in the second half, and Horton in the ruck, as I mentioned.
Fantastic. Special comments coming to you from Aussie Jones. We'll be back after the break with more action from Koo Wee Rup.
The community bank at Koo Wee Rup has supplied defibrillators to most of the recreation reserves in the area. These units are life-saving if there is a cardiac incident. We're able to supply these because we're a community bank and our profits go back into the community.
And back here at Koo Wee Rup, the quarter-time score, Coralin 4-2-26, leading the locals 2-3-15. Traditional rivals doing battle. Our boundary rider, Sean Rogash, is out there at the huddle. Down to you, Sean.
Thanks, Daryl. I've just had a listen in at the Koo Wee Rup huddle, and they're really urging their players not to get sucked in to the physical stuff, the non-football physical stuff I'm talking about there, really making sure that they're concentrating on the game and getting the ball. They obviously struggled a little bit in that quarter. They had 2 minutes or so where they banged their 2 goals on quickly, but they'll be looking to get a lot more of the ball through the midfield this second quarter, no doubt about that. Just on the weather, the rain it looks like we're going to get drizzle and sort of showers throughout the day on and off, and the wind is basically blowing straight across the ground now, straight from the commentary side straight across, so not really favouring either end.
Good on you. Thanks for that, Sean. I see you got your own fan club down there too, mate.
I'm sure that they're having a good time behind me, yes.
Sean Rogash doing our boundary rider duties this afternoon here at Koo Wee Rup. And what a great facility it is here, Aussie.
Yeah, it's a great setup. I think I mentioned to you guys before the call, I drove to Coralin here. I thought the game might have been there today. And, knowing a couple of the boys from there really well, one of my great mates, Ricky Clark, and I live in Bunyip. He's been telling me the ground is not in great nick. So when I drove past and rocked up here, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be a real scrap, and this ground's held up really well. Considering the rain we get out this way, it's in good nick. Just a couple of small things. It's amazing how little things in a game of footy make a difference. It's only 11 points. The Coralin huddle seemed really calm. It seemed like they knew what they were doing. David Main would have focused on a couple of areas to improve, and with Koo Wee Rup, as Sean said, that they were probably a little bit disappointed. They need to work on a few things. Don't get sucked into the off-the-footy stuff, all that. So just amazing. Only 11 points, couple of small things in a quarter, and coaches go in with different focuses.
Special comments from Aussie Jones.
What's Main's background, do you know, David? Main's?
Yeah, so originally a rock boy, which is now the Officer Football Club. So went up through there. He did play at Springvale too. I'm not sure he played a heap of senior footy there, but got a really good, strong football background, and then went rock. went up to Gembrook with Travis Marsham, and then come to Coralin with Travis Marsham, and now taken over the coaching. And again, I haven't had a lot of time to be down at Coralin this year, but from what I've heard, he's doing an enormous job. They had a few premiership players from last year exit, and he's brought in a few new blokes and changed perhaps a couple of little changes to the game plan, and they're still playing some pretty good footy, obviously, Coralin.
And the light not the greatest here at the moment, because the car headlights on the other side are standing out significantly.
Well, if we actually need to put the lights on, the light towers down here at Kooi Rup are substantial.
As I say, just a magnificent centre for the community here.
Sure is. And the scoreboard, I don't know that there's many better scoreboards than the one we've got here at Kooi Rup.
So just waiting for a start in the second quarter here. 26 plays 15. Ready for a start.
So can Kooi Rup get right back into the game, or will it be Coralin to take it away? Up she goes, Main gets a tap out, but it didn't go very far. In the centre there, Kerrigan tries to come out with the footy. The ball's kicked, but it's kicked high in the air. Nobody's going to be able to take that other than a shower of rain as the ball hits the ground once more, and they're working hard at trying to get it out. Tunnel back out the back of the pack, but not going very far at all. Little hand pass up in the air. See if you can get out of here, Dax.
I'll do my best. Opportunity now for Healy to do just that. Bombs it up towards the forward line. Tapped over the back, but no one there to take advantage of it. Cobras with the numbers at the moment. Over the footy down there was skipper Tim Payne. Sees it over and out for a throw in. Forward pocket here for Kooi Rup.
So in it comes. Yeah, big men go for it, and it was Main that got the tap down. Coralin get a quick kick and send it out towards half back. But there's plenty of players out there, but they aren't able to get hold of the footy. And in the background, another beautiful rainbow.
Yeah, rainbows everywhere at the moment. It's right on the half-forward flank at Kooi Rup at the moment. Tap down towards the front. Miller lopes after it. Again, the boundary line will win out. Kooi Market this Sunday.
And if you don't go there, just head down to the Royal Hotel.
Yeah.
You'd enjoy yourself there for certain.
Market first, then the footy, then the hotel.
All in one. So the ball thrown back into play, and on that outer side it's going to be the Cobras with a long kick into the forward line. They're looking over there for Gilliano. He just couldn't get hold of the footy, but it's out of bounds for the throw-in once more. 4:2:26 to 2:3:15. Under 2 minutes gone of the second quarter.
Forward pocket here for Cora Lynn, holding an 11-point lead early in this second term. Working hard to bring the ball out of defence on that occasion for the Demons, but the umpires called it well back, as he was over the line before he kicked it.
So, again, Big Horton doing the ruck work up against Langley. Langley puts his body in front and kept Horton away. Go in for the ball. Miller's there, went through his hands, and a quick kick out. Sees the ball over the boundary line. This time, it's on the full.
We see the netballers in the background there doing their stuff. Cora Horrors.
The Cora Horrors are over there.
I noticed Kev's not here. He wouldn't be game enough.
No, that's very true. But it's going to be Kooi Rup. What's happening? There's a bit of confusion here.
Yeah, Tim Miller was shaping up to take the kick, but the boundary umpire says, no, I'll have that.
Yeah, so plenty of confusion, but it's going to be a ball in.
In it comes. Forward pocket here for Coralin. Anyone's footy at the moment. Came out. Coralin now with the opportunity. Round the body he goes. Great piece of work. It was that Jackson Dalton, was it? Gets a great goal for the Cobras. And great stuff there. A good goal to Dalton. So Coralin stepping up the ante now. 5-2. Plays 2-3. Good piece of work there, Rossi.
Yeah, it was. Good goal from Dalton. I'm sure Ben Collins, the Kooi Rup coach, would be disappointed to have that much space inside 50.
So the ball again in the centre of the ground, and it was out by Helsby, and now the kick goes forward. That was through Maculio, again towards a half-forward line. The defence of Koo Wee Rup under some pressure here. Giuliano picks it up, got it across. Now a quick kick centres it, but the mark taking good defensive work that time by Phil Backman. Why wouldn't he be back there?
Has to be, doesn't he? So Backman kicks the ball from the back line. Into the centre square it goes. Opportunity on this occasion for Healy. Can't quite get a handle on it at the moment. Tapped it along.
No one wanted it.
Conditions still pretty good despite the rain as the Cobras surge forward again. And a good mark back there taken by Dyker. Craig Dyker with a footy for the Demons. They trail 15-32.
Not much on for him though. And so he decides he'll kick it down the line. He's putting his players under pressure because they're all smalls there and they're talls in the opposition. And now the long, big kick. That was by Chris McKay in towards our forward line looking for Gillies. Couldn't take the mark. Butters up a second time. Gee, they go in hard for the football and quick to get off. It was Yap. Gets the ball out wide to the half-back line.
So Koo Wee Rup now. Needing a goal to stay in touch, you'd think, at this stage. Hetherington over there had a chance. Finally a big kick in towards Collins. Got rid of his opponent but couldn't take the mark. Hand pass comes back towards him. Could have been a free kick. Collins has got it again. Dispossessed. The hand pass came out again to Healy. His snap misses to the right.
Comedy of errors, Aussie.
It was really desperate from Coralin, but again, Koo Wee Rup will be disappointed. They had 2 or 3 open opportunities. Coralin just getting a hand in to stop the goal.
So the ball brought out of defence and they're fumbling now this time the Cobras. This could be undoing of them, but good enough to get rid of it, get rid of the opposition and kick the ball forward. 3 Koo Wee Rup players spoiled each other. Ricky Clark gets a kick into the centre of the ground.
Chance now for the Cobras, but they lose the footy on the way through. So taken away here by David Collins, got it straight over towards Kerrigan. Kerrigan unloads from the edge of the centre square. Collins is there. So also was Tim Payne, couldn't take the mark. It'll be thrown in right next to the behind post.
Big Mitch Collins didn't want to get to the front position then, did he?
I reckon he might have been a bit sore from the last contest. He looked like he was taking a few deep breaths after Timmy Payne got a few metres on him then.
So the ball thrown back into play, into the pocket. Screw around that time. Was that from Tim Miller? Has a shot at goal, but he's offline and it's not even registered on this occasion. So it'll be Ricky Clark.
And they know the rules here too, Benny.
Yeah, what's that?
When the cameras are here, you always play on the other side. Yeah. So Ricky Clark, one of our favourites in country footy. Did you teach him how to kick though, Benny?
No, Aussie did. Is he expert?
He won't like that, Ricky. He prides himself very high with his kicking.
So the ball goes to the front of the pack. David Collins has it and gets the kick in towards that forward line. Trouble there, tough for Tim Miller. But Ricky Clark's back there again, like a little terrier he is after the footing, and the ball's across the boundary line.
So a typical game of country footy coming to you live on C31 on this Sunday afternoon. Koo Wee Rup taking on Cora Lynn in the Ellinbank District Football League. So they bottle it up over there at half forward here for Koo Wee Rup. It'll be another ball up. The umpires today, sorry, it'll be thrown in.
It will be. So in it comes, and just a bit of ping pong in there with the footy. But then it's Clark that's able to get his foot to it and sees it towards centre wing. They come well up the ground because Gillies is up there. Miller gets around and sends it back in towards the corridor area. It could be dangerous, but in the end it was Koo Wee Rup that were able to get the footy out, but not to a big advantage. Working back there is Muratori. Nathan Muratori's hand pass. Not a great one. Running onto the football there was that Backman once more. Over the back there's Ben Collins. He couldn't grab hold of the footy. They go in hard for it. It's slippery as an eel out there. It's making it tough. And now the kick back towards the centre wing and the ball's over the boundary line. It's touched for a throw-in.
The ball out on the outer wing. As you say, some magnificent lights and what have you at this ground. A bit different to our day, Benny. So Someone park their bike on the fence and get the dynamo going. So scrambly stuff over there in the outer wing. Finally a chance for the Demons to come forward. Knocking it away over there was Muratori again. And he finds the boundary line.
So it must have been out on the full, was it? So the free kick going the Cobras' way. That half-back line, and the kick goes into the corridor area. Allen got his hand on the football. In the end, it was kicked by Tone in towards half-forward. Gillies comes rushing out. Can't pick it up. He's done that a few times so far today, but he does make a second and third effort. And the ball will be balled up.
A little bit underrated for his forward pressure, Ryan Gillis. You called it well then that he's always got that second or third effort. He'd be frustrated that he's had to have that second or third effort because he's had the fumbles today.
Slippery ball, of course, though, as the Cobras press forward again. Laying the tackle over there was David Collins. Loose footy again. Here comes the big fella. That was Scott Horton. Fed off the hand pass. But again, the boundary line is too close.
Amazing how well he gets down to pick up the ball, Scott Horton, isn't it?
Yep, he has.
Athletic.
Has been impressive. I coached the Interleague this year. We were pretty keen to get him, but didn't get him over the line, unfortunately.
Ball comes to the front of the pack after that throw-in. And a little kick comes out, but it doesn't travel very far. Horton again trying to pick the footy up. It just can't do so. The rain coming down once more, which will make it more difficult. Hand pass back over the top. In the end, Considine's there. He can't get away with the football either. There for Kooi Rup. They're working hard and working very hard at trying to get a free kick. And in the end, it's just going to go over the boundary line, I'm sure.
There's Giuliano in there doing his best to attract the umpire's eye. Forward pocket here for Coralin. They lead 32-16. Got it only about 20 metres out from goal. Kick off the ground was good stuff in these conditions. The hand pass came back out. Captured with a footy on that occasion was Mark Kulia. Spills clear. Play on, says the umpire. Advantage paid. Came over here towards Kerrigan. Kerrigan gets on it straight away. He's looking down there for Galanti. Had a bit of time and space, but they might have messed it up.
He goes in again and making a good effort at getting it. He's got 3-1 to beat. Ball's underneath him. What's the umpire going to do? Give him the benefit of the doubt and ball it up. So, up she goes. We've only played 11 and a half minutes of this quarter. Hand pass comes out, stolen away. Ball goes forward for the Demons. Kick off the ground. It's a good one too. I think that was Galanti.
They needed that. Okay, valuable goal to the Demons as we cross back down to Sean Rogash.
Thanks, Daryl. There's something called the Demons Bar Shuffle happening at the moment, and as you can see behind me, every 5 minutes or so you just get a shuffle back behind under cover, and then the rain stops again and people come out just on the ground. Ryan Gillies just one to watch. He copped a bit of a knock on his hand and he was sort of shaking it for about 5 minutes there, the gun Cora Lynn forward, so just something to keep an eye on.
Okay, thanks for that, Sean. When you do the shuffle, do you come out more refreshed?
I think a lot of the patrons down here are doing that, Daryl, yes.
Up she goes once more in the centre, and it'll be another ball up as the players are locked up with the footy.
We might not see Sean for the rest of the afternoon now.
No.
He'll go back in the shuffle and stay there. Tap down in the middle here. 22 plays 32. The Demons still well and truly in the contest. The rain has stopped again, or it's certainly lightened off. As the Cobras press forward in towards centre half forward. Bounces past them all. Oh, could have been a free kick. No, umpire having none of it. That could have been another one. Didn't have any of that either. Over the footy was Wilby. As the rain gets heavy just to spite me.
No bigger pardons here in the Ellinbank Footy League, is there? Just straight out to brute force as the ball's up and hand pass comes back to Clark. He centres it in towards half forward. Good kick that was, but the defence working hard there for the Demons. The kick goes back towards the centre of the ground. Caltieri was in front. He's been interfered with by McCleary and he's going to win the free kick.
Daniel Caltieri for Kooi Rup. From the dead centre of the ground. Bombs it long. Collins the target, did it well.
Just used his
body
experience
well,
and guile, didn't he?
Yeah, protected the space where the ball was going to drop really well, especially against Timmy Payne, one of the best defenders going around. That'd be the worry, I'd imagine, for David Mayne, that when the Kooi Rup do get the footy in nice and quick to Mitch Collins one-on-one, as good as Payne he is, Mitch just has that body size.
So, the big man, Mitch Collins, kicking from about a 45-degree angle, just on the 50-metre arc, but he doesn't kick it straight this time. He doesn't even bring up a score, so the scores remain at Coralin 5-2-32. 10-point leaders over Kooi Rup 3-4-22.
And as Sean said earlier, the wind not having much of an effect when kicking for goal, but they've had trouble, seem to be having trouble down there. So Justin McCleary to do the McClearing. Long kick. And he's
no one's touched
put that one over the line. No one's touched it.
But it wasn't behind anyway.
It was a out in the full. Yeah, out in the full. It's gained a fair bit of territory with that.
Yeah, it was a good long kick all the same.
It's mine, does it?
So 10 points the margin here. 15 minutes of the second quarter gone to the front of the pack. Now they go forward. It's going to be Kerrigan again. But it was taken away from him. They lock him up in there, and now it's going to be Coralin to kick the ball towards the half-forward line. Getting back there, taking well-judged mark, Brody Yap.
So Yap now chips it over. He's got support over here. Once again, playing down that outer side of the ground as there's a little bit of how's your father going on over there off the footy. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Cobra's working hard to come out of trouble. They do so now. The target down there was Jason Tone.
Yep, good again and knocking it over.
Yeah.
Just sort of going through the motions a bit at the present time, Aussie.
That was exactly what I was just thinking. Hasn't really been a time. Coralin probably 5 or 6 minutes in the first quarter where a side's really had complete control, been able to move the footy how they'd like. It's been a real scrap. Both sides have been pretty good defensively.
Very true. So it's out of bounds again on that outer side for a throw-in.
And of course, Coralin, the reigning premier. Where did Kooi finish last year?
I think they might have missed the finals. They were runner-up in 2014 and may have missed the finals last year. So a little bit of change of personnel, obviously change of coach, and they're certainly playing some great footy this year.
Kooi Rup coming off the bye, Coralin coming off a loss. So we're just still waiting here for the action to start again. Bit of blood rule, but don't have to wait. Don't have to wait for players to come back on. So the umpire now will bring the ball back into play. Throws it in. Up they go, and to the side of the pack it goes on this occasion. Well, nearly being able to get through, but now the Demons will go forward. Long kick, looking for Collins again. He takes the front position, but not the mark. He goes after it, hands and knees, so all the same. Tries to get it out to his teammates, but the defensive Coralin up to it.
Chance here now for the Cobras, but the slippery footy at the moment. Over there was that Dalton, was it?
Yep.
Eventually they bring it over towards the centre wing. They'll just steady things down a little bit here. Gillis was the target. Went over his head, though, on that occasion.
Oh, good bump.
Just inside the line. They'll keep it in nicely. And rebound now, the Demons. Long kick. No one at home. Off hands. Hand pass came over here in the direction of... who was that over there? That was Winter. Did it well. Just chips it over here, and they've got support over here in the form of Tim Miller, who gets on with it straight away, but I thought it might have been a little bit too far, but Calteri made it in the end and took the mark.
Oh, it just about jumped out, didn't it?
Just enough. Like I said before, his athleticism is very good, Calteri. Not too many of the big forwards would have got that one.
Dylan, I've got an update on who that blood rule was about, if you want to throw down at some point.
So it's going to be Daniel Calteri. Comes in, puts the ball on its way. He's put it straight through. Great kick. That's their fourth goal of the day.
Well done to them, and there was a blood rule a moment ago. Sean's down there with some details.
Yes, it was just Dan Mullen came off for Kooi Rup with the blood rule. He's just got a little scratch behind the ear. They've just put the magic gel in there, and he looks ready to come back on, so I don't think he'll be off for too long.
A scratch behind the ear is usually a thump behind the ear.
Well, it might have been a bit harder than that, but as I said, he's got the magic gel spread out on there, and he should be good to go.
He's got an important role today, Mullen. He's paying a fair bit of attention to Ricky Clark in the middle, who's obviously Coralin's best prime mover. So I know that the Kooi Rup coaches will be pretty keen to get Mullen back out there as soon as possible.
So the ball back in the centre. 28 plays 32. Just a 4-point ball game now at the 19-minute mark of this second quarter. They surge forward again, the Demons. In the way at the moment's Ryan Smith. Whistle on play here. And it's going to be a Kooi Rup free kick. Didn't quite pick up what that was for.
Neither did I.
In it comes, and there's that man Calteri again, the man who kicked that last goal for the Demons. And they're starting to up the ante now, Kooi Rup. Long kick right into the teeth of goal. No mark taken. Lurking at the base of the pack there. Who was that? Was Winter again. They couldn't come away with the footy though. Healy over the top of the ball at the moment. Umpire giving them every chance to get it out.
Nathan Muraturi's there as well there for the Cobras. They jump on top of it. Muturi gets rid of it. Goes towards the boundary line. Can they keep it in? Oh, looking for the free kick on that occasion was Galantic. Didn't get it all the same. Tackles are strong and tough. In the end, it's going to be Jason Helsby to bring the ball back towards centre wing. Over the back it goes. Tough and hard at the present time.
Ryan Gillis flew high there and he's back in the action again. Has the ball ahead of him. Taps it towards the line. It'll be thrown in right in front of our commentary position here at Kooi Rup.
Is there a player that's disliked by more from opposition teams than Gillies and loved by his teammates?
He's Stephen Milne. If you barrack for St Kilda, you love him. If you barrack for the opposition, you hate him. He's aware of it. He loves it. He knows it. So it doesn't affect Gillis too much.
He's a character, and football needs characters more than ever these days as they work the ball over towards the centre of the ground now. Just 4 points between these two sides. Traditional rivals over many years as they lock it up, and the umpire will have no option but to throw it up.
Well, we've been playing 21 minutes of this second quarter. 4-4-28, but Coralin at 5-2-32. As the ball's thrown back up into the air and the tackles are laid, the umpire's right on the spot and he'll ball it up once more.
And Sean, you've got an update there for us, mate.
Yeah, just Matt Cameron for Kooi Rup down here. Just called for the emergency can of Coke. You might be able to see him having a sip there. Ran down from the canteen, so that's interesting mid-quarter.
Country footy at its finest as it came over towards Ricky Clark. Just chips it over.
Could have been a CUB can in older days.
When you said chips, I thought he might have been getting some chips and gravy too. But big Yogi's his name down here as Kooi Rup. Looks like he'd eat a few.
Ball thumped over the line and out once again. Still 4 points the difference. We've been travelling 21, just over 21 and a half minutes in this second term.
Tight and tough as the ball's about to be thrown back in. Horton does the ruck work and gets it to the front, but Coralin onto it this time. That's a great shot at goal. Put it through. Nicholas Helsby, what a beauty.
And that's his third. Doesn't need many chances, does he?
No, he doesn't. He's the real strong thing for Nick is, as I said, he'll play a little bit of time through the midfield, but because he's got the double string to his bow and he can go forward, and as you said, he's kicked 3 out of 6 now, so he's having a huge influence on this game and doesn't need a lot of touches. He does love a goal. That one really important because it was out of a pretty contested situation.
So 3 to Helsby for Coralin. Ryan Gillis has 2 and Jackson Dalton 1.
10 points the margin now as the ball's thrown up in the centre. Free kick, ruck interference. The big man Scotty Horton with the footy in his hands, and he's going to deliver it long and high into that forward line. Calteri's his target and he takes it on the chest.
Did it well. Calteri's starting to really come into the game now. Bombs it long. Collins down there. Takes the mark. Once again using his body superbly. Mark get on his chest. He's only a few metres out. And there's a little bit of how's your father going on. But Mitch Collins just making sure he's Concentrating on the upcoming kick.
He's going to be right in front.
That's just crazy.
Well, you lose your composure, and it can affect the whole team.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It was probably a goal to Mitch anyway, but you don't make it an absolute certainty. Right on the halftime siren, couldn't have happened at a worse time.
So the halftime scores will see Coralin 6-2-38, and it'll be Kooi Rup 5-4-34.
So a good contested half of footy as we've got the Littleys coming out to provide some halftime entertainment. But how did you see that first half of footy, Aussie?
I really enjoyed it. I thought, again, probably same as quarter time. We didn't see too many surprises. Neither coach sort of taking too many risks with positional changes, forward or back. Pretty traditional lineups from what I'm aware of with the Coralin and Koo Rup sides. It was physical, it was aggressive. We had some basic skill errors, but with the showers on and off, I think that's going to be a constant for the rest of the day. It's always wet, it's slippery. I felt probably the last 7 or 8 minutes, maybe both sides started to find a little bit more space, just as they got a little bit fatigued going into the half-time break. I know that whoever can manage that space, use the ball best going forward. When it does get delivered forward, that the guys have got to get their hands on the footy. I thought Daniel Caltieri, obviously really aware of Mitch Collins' strength, that as soon as he took this mark outside 50, he wheeled really quick, got the footy just in Mitch's general direction. It was enough to score him a goal. So I think both coaches will be reasonably happy with the first half, but I'd imagine some areas to improve will be the focus for both David Main and Ben Collins at the halftime break.
Special comments coming to you from St Kilda legend Aussie Jones. Now, Aussie, you've also got a little bit of a business enterprise happening around at the moment that's a lot of footballers would love to know about.
Yeah. Well, basically, the last sort of 9 or 10 years since I've been out of AFL footy, I've been doing a lot of coaching at different levels, and probably got to an area where I was done with that, looking for something else to do. And as a coach, there was always a bit of a gap in the market for where you could do some pre-season training indoors, even some mid-season, like at the moment with the grounds getting heavy, an area that was focused for some indoor sort of training. And then we sort of made that a little bit bigger. We put in hot spas, cold spas, as in ice plunge spas, pools, hydro pools, sauna, massage, physio, all in one concept. So we've basically tried to build an AFL-type recovery centre. I try and liken it to an institute of sport, perhaps on a smaller scale, that attracts footballers. Travis Marsham and I, my business partner, probably thought it was going to be about 70 or 80% footballers. We're probably running about a quarter with our membership. Mixed martial arts has been big. Basketball, soccer, the general public, just because our boxing's been a big one, kickboxing as well. So our centre's big on that recovery side, but relaxation as well. So we get a few people just walk in the door and they're not doing much sport. They just enjoy kicking back, relaxing and walking out feeling a lot better.
So the name of it and a phone number?
Yeah, so we're P3 Sports and Recovery in Berwick. We're in Enterprise Ave there in Berwick, and our number's 9768 9276. Luckily enough, we've got Travis, myself, another full-timer, and plenty of casuals that'll be able to answer the phones at any time.
So go to it, you'd be in very good hands. We'll take a short break and be back with more from Kooi Rup.
We've all had regrets, but your home loan shouldn't be one of them. At Bendigo Bank, we rate our home loans. So do our customers. And not just because we're the good guys, but because we're good at what we do. Great rates, great service. Bendigo Home Loans. When the time comes for you to settle, have no regrets.
Well, of course, an historic telecast this afternoon from Kooi Rup. Benny's down there with some people who helped make it happen.
Yes, in the rain, you've sent me out here, but all the same, these broadcasts wouldn't happen without sponsors. And Michael, John Duff and Company, what do they do?
We're fuel distributors. We're branded Shell. We're an independent operation though. It's a family business, been here for over 50 years, supporting Gippslanders and also country football and other sporting groups within the Gippsland region.
Yeah, you do sponsor a lot of the sporting clubs in this area.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we've involved probably over 20 football clubs, and of course there's the pony clubs, the netball clubs, the tennis clubs, and yeah, we see the community a little bit broader than just football, but today it's all about football, and we're glad to have you here at Kooi Rup.
Terrific, thank you. And Paul Vaughan, you're a new manager here for the Bendigo Bank.
That's right, yeah. So Bendigo, our community company. So there's Pearcedale, Tooradin, Narre South, Kooi Rup, of course. So we're proud to be here and be a sponsor within the community.
Well, we must say thank you very much for putting your hand in your pocket, both of you, to put on a broadcast like today, because it is groundbreaking and it's great that you guys have been involved.
Look, it's a pleasure to be here. It's such a big crowd today. There's kids running around, junior football behind us. So it's great to see everyone having a good day, and it's a great way to spend some sport on Sunday.
Anyway, back to you, Daryl.
Good on you. Thanks, Benny. Thanks, sponsors. Well, of course, Kooi Rup Footy Club, a large part of the community. But Benny was down here during the week to find out a little bit more about what makes Kooi Rup tick.
You wouldn't live anywhere else but Kooi Rup?
No, this is my last resting place. This is a place that I love, Kooi Rup. It's got everything that I need, all the facilities I need, and I know that it's got all the facilities for all the new people that come into town. Kooi Rup, a great place to be.
Sheldon, Mulga, you've been playing were playing local footy back in the 50s.
Yeah.
So whereabouts you played here at Kooi Rup?
Yeah, and then I came back after I come from Shepparton. I went and coached Pakenham for a year, and then I retired.
But up at Shepparton, you were assistant coach to the great Tommy Hafey.
I was going to be, but I just ended up just a player. Wasn't assistant. Yeah.
And you played in the grand final up there against Kyabram?
Yes.
So that was a good win. You had a good win up there.
Yeah, we beat them 2 years in a row in grand finals. So they were a great side. They had Dickie Clay and Ross Dillon, and they had 4 guys that played in the grand final, played league football the very next year. So they were a very powerful side.
They were a powerful side, but there was a pretty big wager on that game, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. Yes, there was £1,200 on the game.
£1,200?
Yeah, and we gave the punters gave 12 points in.
Okay, and what happened? Well, fancy that. That's a lot of money. 70 or 80,000 in this day and age?
Yes, it would be, yeah.
Now, at the end of the game, you were 7 points up, and you took a mark in the goal square right on the final siren.
Yes.
So what happened then?
Well, just going to come in a kick, the players said, "What are you doing? We've won." And the siren went. And they went. So I just got the ball. I had the ball in my hand, and they said, well, "Don't worry, we were 7 points up. We've won the game." And I saw it to Jeff Crouch, the umpire, and then I'm not the one I had the bet on.
So the big bet was on, but all the people who put the bet on were on the line, wanting you to kick the goal.
Yeah, but the crowd's were on. You don't know who's yelling out and who's not.
Anyway, you didn't kick the goal. They didn't win their money.
No.
But you won the premiership.
Yes.
Well done. Congratulations. Back to you, Daryl.
Thanks, Benny. We'll be back with all the action of the second half shortly from Kooi Rup.
Today's game brought to you by John Duff & Co, Kooi Rup Community Bank, Royal Hotel Kooi Rup, and Tank Formers.
So away with the action in the second half here. Ball at half forward. Second half underway here at Kooi Rup. We've just had the bounce and they've worked it over towards the wing where it will be thrown up. 38 plays 34, just a 4-point ball game. Looking forward to a great second half here as the Demons kicking to right of screen, trying to close the gap further.
And Kerrigan on the bottom of the pack there again, looking for free kicks but not getting them. The umpire's allowing it to go on, but in the end, he pays the one holding the ball, didn't knock the ball out, he said. So it'll be the Cobras to go into attack. Big Horton gets back there, but Gillies comes out, takes the ball and delivers it into the forward line. Langley's on the end of it.
Hard to stop Gillis coming out with that sort of intensity, and that role that I mentioned before half-time with Caltiri to give the forwards that one-on-one. Again with Langley, one-on-one when he's on a lead, he's very, very hard to stop. A few of the Coralin boys, getting into the Koo Rup ruckman. Big Horton, I thought was good in the first half. I think the Coralin boys think he could have gone back a little bit harder into that contest.
Nathan Langley unloads for Coralin, makes no mistake, puts it through and increases the lead once again to 10 points for the Cobras.
Important goal because we started the second half pretty similar to the first half with a bit of a scrap, a few repeat ball ups. But when a side does get that quick ball movement, they seem to be able to score okay. That's going to be the difference. A team that uses the ball better when they've got a little bit of space, a little bit of open ground, can hit the scoreboard a little bit quicker in such a tight game. And we'll notice that'll be a huge effect.
So that was Langley's first goal. Helsby has 3 for the Cobras, Gillis 2.
As the ball's up in the centre and Horton gets the knock down, trying to get away with it was Kerrigan. Oh, he stumbled, and then he ends up getting the hand pass off, did it up well, gets it across to Winter. Josh Winters kicks off the side of his boot, not a good one at all, and marked over there by Ryan Smith. Smith goes to that outer side, looks for Chris Mackay, finds him.
So, Chris Mackay or Mackay, half back for Coralin. Looking over there on that occasion for Dalton. All on the deck. Chance here for Kerrigan to go through, but the boundary line's too close. He'll tap it over for a throw in. Royal Hotel, that's the cultural centre of Kooi Rup, Benny.
Yeah, I haven't visited there, but I reckon I will shortly as the ball's knocked to the side of the pack. And good work there by the Cobras. Clark got a little kick off the ground. High hand pass, that doesn't help anybody over there. But again, it was Clark. Got the hand pass out. They go forward, into half forward. Over the back it goes. Gillies, it goes through his hands, and then he tried to knock it on. Langley has it. He's got time, steadies, but kicks off the side and through for behind.
Looks dangerous when he gets the ball, Aussie.
Yeah, good player, Langley. Actually played in the 2014 grand final at fullback. Got sent off early, didn't play much time. And then Trav Marsham swung him forward last year. He played really well. Good hit up at centre half forward and dangerous around goals.
So Miller to do the kicking in for Kooi Rup. 11 points the margin. Unable to take the grab there was Tim Miller. Got the hand pass away. Walden was stretching for it. Horton got it. Went nowhere in the end. Claimed by Helsby. Loses it. Ball's back on the deck. Scrambly stuff over there at the moment. Oh, nifty piece of work by Helsby. Didn't go very far though. Kooi Rup defending through the agency of Mullen.
Into the centre of the ground it goes. Allen's back there, hands the ball over. McCleary's back there, but he's beaten by his opponent on this occasion, and it'll be the Demons to go forward, into half forward. They're looking there for Healy, couldn't take the mark. They go in again for the football, but the defence working hard for Coralin as it's at half back. Little hand pass comes out, and the rush kick goes forward for them. They were able to back it up a second time round. Good work that time. Chris Mackay got a hand pass out, trying to elude him. David Collins couldn't do so. Goes back to Mackay. He gets the ball off, and they'll go forward to the Cobras.
Intensity lifting in this third term as the ball spilled to Miller. Miller unloads out of the open spaces. Ben Collins is there, all on his own skipper. Back onto the right foot he goes now. Delivery in towards Mitch Collins. He ends up knocking it away. Kerrigan was there, couldn't take the ball with him. Coming out on that occasion was Tim Payne, but again, the Demons win the footy. Collins got a long hand pass, more in hope than science, and the Cobras mop it up, cross half back. No mark taken there by Helsby. That allowed Tim Miller in. Here's the opportunity now for David Collins.
He lines up the goals and goes bang into the forward line. They fly over the back. Has it been touched or hit the post? I think it hit the post.
Hit the timber. Good build up there by the Demons, but no cigar in the end. Long kick. Good long kick in these conditions. Cobras now moving the ball well. Getting onto it straight away was Jack Allen. His target over there was Ryan Gillis. Takes the mark. Inboard he goes looking for Giuliano. Ball didn't bounce kindly for him, but the defence under plenty of pressure from Koo Wee Rup. Hand pass came over here to Langley all on his own in the goal square. Goes bang. That increases the Cobras lead. He's happy.
Good work by Jackson Dalton, get the handball across.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, really good team play from the Cobras, and as you guys called it, it was the really dangerous kick out from full back. You know, the side that's been able to I suppose, get over the congested area, 60-metre kick there, and then just got out the back of Koo Wee Rup's numbers, and they were able to move the footy nice and easy. They do play a bit of a zone, Koo Wee Rup, and they couldn't get back to cover Langley, who ended up free in the square.
So it's back in the centre. 7 minutes of this quarter gone. Scoreboard, Coralin 88, 351 to 55-35 as the ball's up in the centre there again. Hand pass comes out and Coralin want to go forward again. Clark gets it, dishes it off. It was in a rush, plenty of congestion. Ball's underneath. The umpire's going to ball it up. Still right on the cricket pitch there.
A sticky wicket today, Benny.
You're used to being able to bat on those.
Yeah, no worries. Came down here towards David Collins. Collins making their mark on the gain, the Collins boys. But Koo Wee Rup, rebound, Cora Lynn at least, rebound forward. Little kick in towards centre half forward. The mark taken over here, a sliding mark by David Collins.
Collins now with on the half-back line. And it's just a little toe poke kick across the ground and they keep possession. Now down the line they go. Long kick over the boundary line and over for a throw-in. So on the outer side, forward to centre wing for Koo Wee Rup. Morton gets a tap down. Comes to the ground. Good hard there. They lay the tackles. But the free kick not there on this occasion. The big fella didn't like it. He's laid the tackle. Reckons he deserved it.
Up she goes, out of wing. 35 plays 51. The action coming to you from Koo Wee Rup Recreation Reserve as the Demons surge forward now. Collins a target, knocked away from him by Main.
Oh, good kick.
Little chip in short. That's good stuff from the Cobras. Coralin working their way out of defence came to Ricky Clark, the veteran. Measures off the kick, looking down there for Giuliano, overran the footy in the end, but Nathan Gillis didn't. He fires it into Langley. Langley takes the mark. He's proving a handful up there now.
Just got a fair bit more run on.
Yeah, I think that's probably been the difference in the third quarter. There's plenty more run from Coralin, a little bit more open space. Probably the defensive efforts of Koo Wee Rup have dropped off, and it's just allowed Coralin to get those forward 50 entries without too much pressure.
So, it's going to be Nathan Langley. He's already has 4. Puts the ball on its way, hits the post. He had 2.
Yes,
in fact. He had 2. He still hasn't added to those 2. So it's another behind on the scoreboard all round.
I know 2 and 2 is 4, Benny, but
I was just giving him.
Player above him's kicked 2.
I was giving him Ryan Gillis's goals as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that Ryan will be wrapped.
So the ball kicked out there. They'll work it towards the line. That's still well inside. Opportunity now for the Demons. They've got the numbers there. Little kick in short. It was good work. Came over here in the end now to Hetherington. Hetherington a long kick. Here's danger. Got it over towards Tim Miller. Oh! Tim Miller in towards goal. Barry Crocker misses to the right. Sean Rogash never kicked them like that, did you, Sean?
My illustrious career, no, Daryl. Just down on the weather here, it's been dry this second half so far for the first 10 minutes. There are some grey clouds on the way though, but I think my earpiece must be playing up.
A bit too much, old Sean.
I think my earpiece might be playing up because I think I heard Benny admit there was a pub in Victoria he hadn't been to before.
So the ball back in towards the centre of the ground after that kick out. It's going to be Nicholas Helsby to kick the ball over to the half-forward line. Up they go. The mark taken by the man in front who was able to move the ball quickly across to Brady White. He has it. about 70 out from goal. Just a little chip pass. It goes forward, and Markulia takes the mark and kicks the ball in towards half forward. Gillies has got back there. He's taken the mark. Probably a little fortunate in the end. But he covered some ground then, because he was up on the half forward line contesting the mark beforehand.
Yeah, he's got a real and 50 here too against Koo Wee Rup. I think both coaches would be disappointed. I think a lot of the 50s have been for a bit of back chat too, that's a real choice from players. Don't get involved, don't get focused on the umpires. And I know players from both sides have been focused on the umpires too much.
Gillies brings up his third.
Showed the footy to them too, said that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do with this?
He put it straight through the centre.
Not that he'd want to upset the Koo Wee Rup supporters.
No, Ryan Gillis doesn't like upsetting opposition supporters at all. But you guys have noticed, obviously, that this third quarter's opened up, hasn't it? There's a lot more space. At the moment, Coralin making the most of their open spaces, but obviously Kooi getting them as well. Timmy Miller just missed the chance.
Okay, down to Sean Rogash.
Down on the bench here too, to back up Aussie's point before, there have been a couple of comments as players have come off the ground in relation to the umpires, so it is something that might be getting to some of the players.
So the ball's now been kicked in towards the Coralin forward line. Free kick paid without the ball going up. So now it's going to be the Cobras to try and go forward. Taking the marks, Justin Markulia gets it off straight away, and they go towards a half forward line.
Opportunity there here now for Coralin. That was Paluso sending it into half forward. The dangerous Giuliano has got it. Kicks it over looking for Langley. Ball knocked away from him. Loping after it down there is Walden, but he won't get it before it rolls over and out.
Ryan Gillis has just come off. He looks pretty sore, the star forward. He is tough, and he'll try and convince the trainers to get back out there as soon as possible, but he is hobbled over, looks sore.
So the ball comes back into play, and Cameron did the ruck work on that occasion, got it to the front of the pack, but at the present time it's all Cobras there, and the ball goes back towards a hot spot at half foot, punched from behind. That was good work. It was Giuliano who got a hand pass off, but the umpires paid a free kick. It's going to go the Cobras' way.
We're starting to get a bit of a grip on the game now. 22-point leaders as Giuliano kicks into the man on the mark, deflects it. Running back onto it was Considine, under plenty of pressure at the moment in the last line of defence, the Demons. And they seek the sanctuary of the boundary line.
"14 minutes have gone of the third quarter. Cameron does the ruck work, gets it down, not to a big advantage. It was Kerrigan that got his boot to the footy and sees it back out towards half back. But nobody really wants a footy on this occasion. Umpire's paying a free kick. It's going to be an in-the-back free kick, and it's going to go the Cobras' way.
Okay, Sean, you're down there with Ryan Gillis.
Yeah, I'm not with him, Daryl, but they're just working on the left hamstring there. He sort of pulled at it as he was hobbling off, and they're now sort of getting a bit of a massage on there. So obviously a bit of a hamstring issue for Ryan, and as Aussie said, he's a tough player, so I'm sure he'll be trying to get back out there.
So Ryan Smith with the footy, comes in on that left boot, made no mistake about that. They go further ahead.
Today's game brought to you by John Duff & Co, Koo Wee Rup Community Bank, Royal Hotel Koo Wee Rup, and Tank Formers.
And Aussie, local businesses and local people get right behind their footy clubs in the country, don't they?
I was listening to you guys before talking about the Royal being the hub and the footy club. This is what local communities thrive on. You know, every Saturday, everyone's here, everyone supports it. Thursday night, if someone within a football club has, perhaps some personal issues or some hardship, everyone gets behind it. I live out in Bunyip, which is involved in this league. It's absolutely a great community, proud to be part of it.
So the ball up in the centre again, and this time it's going to be David Collins, a coach, taking the ball into that forward line for the Demons, but they can't take the mark out there as the ball goes towards the boundary line. And there's Smith again, who's able to get his boot to the ball from the back line. Out towards half back it goes. Cobras again with the numbers. The hand pass goes up in the air and Ricky Clark gets his boot to the footy in towards the half-forward line. Another chance here for the Cobras to go forward, but he's been legged and it's going to be a free kick going Coralin's way. They're making the play at the present time.
They are. Kooi Rup certainly way too focused on the umpires at the moment. They've given away 4 50-metre penalties, all for back chat with the umpires.
And they've got it at half-forward at the moment. The Cobras slipping over there with Nathan Gillis. Whoa, could have been taken a tad high, saw it from up here. And that'll be a Coralin free kick. Within kicking distance, perhaps.
A little bit of banter between Ryan Gillis and Scott Horton and the Kooi Rup bench. If I was an opposition club, I just wouldn't talk to him because it fires him up, makes him more determined.
It's a mixture of Cassius Clay and Jacko.
You can hear him probably through our effects mic, and he's back on the ground. So in he comes now. This shot at goal. Maculia puts the ball on its way, but it's offline. Another behind. That could have just about put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I think you're pretty close. They've just lost concentration here, Kooi Rup, focused on the wrong things at the moment. They need to focus on what they need to do to get back into this game.
So Miller now saying, come on, where am I going to kick it? I'll kick it to myself. That answers the question. Ships it over here. He's looking for the big fella in Matty Cameron. Took the mark.
There's nothing wrong with his hamstring.
Cameron now. In towards the centre wing. He goes to Kooi Rup players spoiled each other. Calteri's there. They're getting in each other's way now. They work it towards the line, and happy to see it over was Josh Winter. There's a good shot of the crowd. Part of the crowd.
Good crowd in today, really.
My word.
Yeah, Sunday football. Probably a couple of the other teams here today to watch both of these top clubs in action as Horton got the tap out. It goes over the back and it's going to be working hard as Tim Miller gets hold of the footy, puts it over the top. Handball came from Galanti. They put the ball across to Mitch Collins and he doesn't let them down, straight through the centre. A badly needed one.
Yeah, big goal for Kooi Rup there. Certainly against the Tide. I'd be really strong if I was their coach. I've been watching them really, really closely, even behind the ball when they haven't been giving away free kicks and 50s. Their focus is on some Coralin players and it's on the umpires. Now they're lucky they got a goal there. They're not going to get back into the game if their focus isn't right. It has to be on this clearance. It has to be on their ball movement. It has to be on what they're doing defensively, rather than things that they can't control.
Special comments coming from Aussie Jones in this afternoon's historic telecast live from Kooi Rup. And of course highlights on next Friday night's Local Footy Show at 7 o'clock or Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And a little bit more of the colour from the ground in next week's show.
It's a great asparagus growing area down here.
Now, what's the plural of asparagus? Is it asparagi or is it just asparagus again?
Just asparagus. A bit more of it.
Sean and I couldn't quite work it out.
Well, that'll be right between you two.
No.
Back in the centre and up she goes. Big Horton gets a tap down on this occasion. It was Kerrigan that tried to go through, but Ricky Clark stopped that by getting the ball towards half forward. Working back there was Nathan Gillis. But now they go forward in towards that half forward line. Oh, good mark. That was reading the play beautifully. Mark taken by Justin Maculia.
Bit of courage shown there.
He's been good too, the young fellow. He fights his way into the one spot. Plays a little bit of twos at Coralin, but I think he's been really effective today.
He's had a fair bit of the footy. Reads it well.
So the kick was smothered on that occasion. A chance here for Kooi Rup to rebound. Came over to Kerrigan. He's under plenty of pressure though. Spilled there to Gillis. Got the hand pass away. Came over to Helsby in towards the pocket. He goes. Big grab down there to the man we were just talking about before, Ryan Gillis.
I don't reckon you could fly for a mark like that with a crook hammy.
No, he does. He has got some hamstring issues. Works pretty hard during the week as a concreter, so probably not great for the back and hamstrings. Probably doesn't surprise you as a concreter, does it? Like that?
I thought he might have been a florist.
Suck it up and get tough. In comes Ryan Gillis. He's put it through. Another one on the board to him. That's his fourth.
Starting to put some daylight between them and their opponents now, Ozzy.
Yeah, it's been a real clear difference in this quarter for me. It's been just the attitude, I suppose, and the professionalism of Cora Lynn. They've played the ball. They've really stuck to their focuses, the way that they want to play. They've moved the footy really well, and Kooi Rup have just dropped off in that area. They haven't been able to run offensively or defensively as well as Kooi Rup. And like I said a couple of times, probably just their focuses have gone away from what they need to be on. It's gone to the umpires. It's gone to Ryan Gillis. I mentioned in the call, if I was an opposition club, coach, leaders out there, I'd ignore it rather than try and drum him up, because as we saw then, really aggressive mark and great finish.
22 minutes gone. Third term here at Kooi Rup. 71 plays 42, as you can see. So the Cobras taking control. Round the body from Maggio. Chance here for... here's the opportunity on this occasion for Nathan Gillis. The Gillis boys in everything. Up in towards the goal square. Off the deck on that occasion by Dalton. And he kicks his second for the Cobras.
So that takes the score for Coralin to 12-5-77 to Kooi Rup 6-6-42, and just doing it too easy.
Yeah, they are. The third quarter, they've been in complete control from the middle as well. Ricky Clark's been awesome, getting his hands on the footy, and just the grounds open up. Kooi Rup just aren't defending as well as they did in the first half, and Coralin just getting a lot more space.
So the ball thrown up in the centre, and Kooi Rup just have to get the ball going forward, but it's not going to be on this occasion as the umpires paid incorrect disposal. And these quarters don't go all that long. If we go 25 minutes, it'll be just about it, I reckon. And we've gone 23 already. So it's going to be the Cobras to go into attack. A long kick into that forward line. Big fellas back there.
No mark taken, though. Back forms. Where's the footy? Where's the footy? Umpire says, give it to me, I'll throw it up. So not far away from three-quarter time here at Kooi Rup. And Cora Lynn slowly tightening their grip on the contest. In towards the goal square it goes. Off hands. Back there under plenty of pressure was Dyker. Kicked it wide into the open spaces, and fortunately for the Demons, it bounces out for a throw-in.
Yeah, there was just nobody out there, was there?
Now, again, the game's open up with that. Certainly the work rate, the ability to cover the ground from both sides has dropped off, but if it did stay in, it was probably Coralin that had the numbers again.
So ball does get thrown into play. As you can see on the screen, 77 plays 42, nearly 24 and a bit minutes gone, and the umpire will ball it up back there over there as they just can't get out of that congestion.
So Ricky Clark nonchalantly hands the ball to the umpy. And again, the defence of Kooi Rup under plenty of pressure. Long hand pass. Once again, two Kooi Rup players vying for the same ball as it flicked over here towards Ben Collins. He kicks a high ball up towards centre half forward. Mitch had a bit of an arm around the shoulder. Play on, said the ump. Allen came out with it. Healy now takes it for Kooi Rup. In towards the forward line. He's looking down there for Tim Miller. He's got plenty of opposition. Can't take it. Oh, good piece of work on that occasion back there. Was that Muratori, was it? There's a long kick in towards goal, though. This will be good for the Demons off the boot of Caltieri. That's what they need. So, good goal to them as we cross back down to Sean Rogash.
Oh, desperately needed goal there for the Demons, but I know I may regret saying this. It does look like it's going to be clear for the rest of the game now. It's certainly clear for the rest of this quarter anyway.
Well, it's good to see you're not doing the back shuffle into the bar anyway, Sean.
No, I've moved away from the bar. It is still quite loud over there, but there's smatterings of Cora Lynn supporters around the ground, and they're starting to get vocal with the number of goals their side's banged on this quarter.
77 plays 48 now as it's hard at the football again. A kick off the ground. That was by Kerrigan, in danger, says the umpire, and it'll mean that Ricky Clark ends up with a free kick. So Clark looks up the ground and is going to take the short option, doesn't quite make it to Gillies. Nathan Gillies was tackled and they try to take the ball off him. He's working hard at keeping it in there, and he's copping a fair bit into the side of the neck, I'd suggest.
Three-quarter time, siren imminent. 48 plays 77. Can the Demons get back into the game? Good long boot. Collins a danger man down there again from that kick from Galtieri. Lurking back there though was Tim Miller. Screws it back, bounces through, just missing. That would have been a handy one, Aussie.
Starting to look dangerous, Timmy Miller. He's been influential in one of their goals and had a couple of shots. Now, he's probably their best ball user, him and Ben Collins. If they can get the footy into Tim Miller's hands forward to centre, definitely helps their chances.
So it's a long kick out of defence onto that outer side, punch from behind. Ball goes forward. Again, they were looking for Tim Miller, but he couldn't quite get there. The ball's out of bounds for a throw-in. Coming up 27 minutes, you wouldn't think it's long before three-quarter time.
They're enjoying the game over there at the back of the station wagon. Great country tradition at country footy. Coralin working the ball around that outer side again. Can they pinch another one before three-quarter time? Good mark back there. That'll hold them up.
So, there's another free kick further up the ground, and it's been paid still to Kooi Rup. A quick kick across, but in the meantime, the umpire says, well, free kick for 50 metres. So there was obviously something going on. Might have been another one of those don't argues, Aussie.
I just don't understand how the players haven't got the message. The umpires clearly today are not going to accept back chat. Just stop all communication with umpires.
So now the ball speared into that forward line. Mitch came out, Collins, but they couldn't get the foot. It goes back out to the outer side, punch from behind. Working hard, Ben Miller there all the time for Kooi Rup, but the free kick here is going Coralin's way, and they're off and running quickly as that.
Here's the man again. Ryan Gillis marks and spears it in towards Langley. He was chopped off. And a kick along the ground sees it right up in towards the teeth of goal now. Again, Demon defence standing up, and it comes over here towards Healy. Ryan Healy's been handy today.
Got nothing on though.
Leads it out to Colteri, the target, and finds him.
Plays on straight away and gets it into that forward line, looking for Collins. Bounces over the top, and Ben Collins trying to get back on it, but the boundary line looms too quickly. It'll be a throw-in.
Excuse me, 77 plays 49. Been playing nearly 29 minutes in this third term here as Colteri thumped it forward. Bit of volleyball happening, came towards Allen. He got the hand pass away. Tell you what, you claimed as quick as you get the footy here. Centre half forward here for Kooi Rup. Can they conjure something? Hand pass came over there. Ending up with a footy was Tim Miller. Cramped for room, eventually has a shot in towards goal.
Nice.
That was productive. Badly needed goal for the Demons. That's brought the crowd alive.
Well, it was a badly needed one again, wasn't it? And they're just starting to look a little bit more dangerous in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think he's the one, Timmy Miller. He's gone inside 50 and been such a good kick on his left side. It's a really dangerous position for Cora Lynn that he's gone forward. He copped a knock just on half forward maybe 7 or 8 minutes ago, and I wonder if he's just gone forward, maybe just for a little bit of recovery, maybe to get out of the physical nature of this game for a little bit, and it's actually worked in their favour, Kooi Rup. Like I said, he's had a couple of scoring shots. He's finished with that goal there and set up another one, so he's having a big influence.
22 minutes, 22 points of difference, and this time the big man Cameron tries to barge through, lucky not to get paid against him. The ball comes back, and it's going to be David Collins to kick the ball long to that half forward flank. Back over there again is Ben Collins. He couldn't take the footy with him, and it's over for a throw-in.
I ducked in at half-time, Benny, and mate, you missed out on some magnificent little cakes and vanilla slices and cheesecake.
They had that country, the table set for good country eating.
The country hospitality was laid on thick. Three-quarter time here at Kooi Rup. Coralin leading 77-55. And
will there be any left?
No, definitely not. We'll go to a break and we'll be back with more from Kooi Rup, including Aussie Jones summing up of the game so far.
We've all had regrets, but your home loan shouldn't be one of them. At Bendigo Bank, we know a great rate means nothing without great service. Bendigo Home Loans. When it's time for you to settle, have no regrets.
Back here at Kooi Rup, it's three-quarter time. Stacks of people around both huddles, Kooi Rup and Cora Lynn. And Our boundary rider, Sean Rogash, is also down there. Down to you, Sean.
I am, Daryl. It's still clear down here, and I think we're going to get through the last quarter okay. We saw Ryan Gillies with a bit of a hamstring issue that quarter. He had some work done at three-quarter time. He's up now listening to the coach, so I'm sure that he'll get through that last quarter as best he can. The main message really from David Mayne was to work through the middle of the ground. They think they can run the legs off the Demons, so that's going to be their game plan for the last quarter. Hardly revolutionary, but get the ball going quickly down the middle.
Sounds a good game plan to me, Sean.
It does.
Sean Rogash working beautifully down there at ground level. Well, 22 points the margin. Koo Wee Rup with a bit of work to do. Are they still a chance, Aussie Jones?
I think they are a chance. I actually was involved in the game exactly the same last year. Coralin versus Kooi Rup at Kooi Rup, and the margin was pretty similar. Coralin ended up getting up by 2 points, but it was Kooi Rup got in front at times. They'll continue to work. I think in that quarter, probably their two best ball users, Kooi Rup, came into the game in the last 8 or 10 minutes. So that was Ben Collins through the middle of the ground and Tim Miller inside 50. Again, they've got some real tough inside mids, but perhaps their skill level's not all that high. So they do need to use their better ball users, which is something Cora Lynn will always work to do, to give the footy to Rick Clark, Nathan Gillis, these types. So if Kooi Rup can get it in their best ball users' hands, probably follow David Mayne's instructions, which I'm sure Ben Collins would be harping into his team to get the footy in quick to Mitch Collins. Probably the thing with Kooi Rup that I've noticed the first time I've seen them play since Mitch has been involved is they're very predictable. They go to Mitch Collins inside 50 99% of the time, and we picked it up early. Timmy Payne was working hard on the one-on-ones, but Coralin are getting numbers back now. They know where the footy's going. So if the footy hits the deck, Coralin are actually able to have that extra number. But having said that, like I said, that last 6 or 7 minutes when Tim Miller got his hands on the footy, Koo Wee Rup started to win the clearances and get the footy inside 50 nice and quick. They kicked a couple late and actually gave themselves a chance by their efforts late in that third quarter.
You'd have to think that Scott Horton, the big ruckman, would have to have more of an influence in this last quarter if they're to get up.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think, and I praised him in his first quarter. I know there was an effort that perhaps he wouldn't be too happy with. I know the Coralin boys got really stuck into him after it, and I think it's probably affected his mindset since then. He's really fallen away, and that's when I felt Koo Wee Rup were able to stay in the game when he was dominant. But since he's dropped off, he hasn't got his hands on the footy, perhaps not being quite aggressive around the ball. They've dropped off, and it allowed Coralin to take control of the centre square and the stoppages around the ground.
Yeah, it's all all looking to a top last quarter of footy. If Koo Wee Rup can get back into the game and get a couple of quick goals early, it'll be all set up beautifully.
It certainly will, Benny. Let's hope that happens as the crowd slowly makes its way from the ground here at Koo Wee Rup.
Now, Sean did say it won't rain the last quarter, didn't he?
And Sean's always right, so yeah. We're pretty safe then.
Yeah, I reckon we're safe.
Throw your brollies away.
One main change Koo Wee Rup have gone with is Cal Terry, who's been at centre half forward all day, has gone into the centre square. Perhaps just that bigger body. I'm not sure they need the bigger body. They've already got Kerrigan in there. They probably need a little bit more pace and a little bit more zip, but it'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
But he has got some pace.
But you're
good athlete.
Sacrificing a target up forward.
It'll be interesting to see how it pans out, because even if he does get his hands on the footy, he's the player you want kicking to with that sort of hit up around centre half forward. So it's a bit of a gamble, but when it's 22 points at three-quarter time, you've got to try things to perhaps give yourself that real chance late in the game.
Can they get back? Koo Wee Rup with a bit of work to do. We'll soon know. Ready to start the last quarter.
And you notice, like this, every other country footy game, nobody's leaving.
Of course not.
They're sticking around to the end.
This is real footy.
So we've got the final quarter of football to tell who's going to be the winner of our match of the day. As the ball's thrown up in the centre of the ground, and in goes the Koo Wee Rup on ball as quickly to try and get possession. But Coralin are up to it. There's Ricky Clark again on the bottom of the pack, just like you spoke about, Aussie.
Yeah, been good, Ricky. Again, another one who's just probably underrated for his defensive side. I think he's probably had 10 tackles today, Rick, as well as plenty of touches.
His experience is invaluable, that's the thing. Just having him out there. Ball still in the centre of the ground. Good kick off the ground by Kerrigan on that occasion. I wonder if he's got a dad called Daryl. Chance here for Collins. Got it back over here towards Josh Winter. Back over towards Kerrigan, but he fumbles it. I put the moz on him. They turn it over. Cobras now surge forward in towards centre half forward. Oh, no mark taken on that occasion. This could be telling. Taken there by, that was Nathan Gillis in towards the full forward position proper. Chance here, play on, says the umpire. Came over here towards the dangerous Helsby. Helsby unloads, misses to the right. Maybe a let off for the Demons.
So Ben Miller going back to try and retrieve the footy. He's played pretty well too, all the same. Ball's been coming down to him pretty quickly, so he kicks it to himself this time to see if he can make up a couple of extra metres. Kicks it out and finds a big man, and he takes the mark. Daniel Caltieri wants to play on straight away, goes down the line. Difficult kick to mark. It's going to be the Cobras working the ball with hands through the centre of the ground. Main has it. He drops it in the end, and so it gives a chance now for Kooi Rup. But Allen's in there as well. They get the ball off, and Ricky Clark gets a rush kick into that forward pocket area.
The dangerous Langley lurks. Round onto the left foot. In towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Gillis is there. Taken to ground. They form a pack about 30 metres out, and the umpire will blow the whistle for a ball up.
So up she goes and to the ground. So again, there's plenty of players around the footy.
Centre half forward here. I think the next goal will be very, very telling. Can the Demons get it? That's the question. Hand pass came out here on that occasion from Mullen. Work it over towards the centre wing now, rolling, and they'll see it over the line and out of bounds. Plenty of colour, plenty of crowd down here at Kooi Rup, and Sean Rogash has been down among it all day. He's there now.
I am, Daryl. I'm here again down at the bar, but I'm on the outside, I assure you. But in front of some of the more vocal crowd down here, and just wondering whether the Demons can still win the game, ladies.
Okay.
I think they still believe.
I thought he'd end up with the ladies, as coming out of the pack on that occasion was Dalton. Did it beautifully, but the kick let him down in the end.
Dangerous time for Kooi Rup. This whole last quarter, the footy has been in Coralin's forward half. Now, they haven't hurt him just yet, but you can't keep giving Coralin this many chances.
So waiting for the ball to come back. Miller has it. Looking to see who's on option. He's looking across the face, but now he's just going to, with the left foot, go down the line and misses everything. It's out of bounds on the full.
So you can see the score there. 23-point margin, Coralin's way. Time starting to run out for the Demons. There's a good mark at centre half, back to the big fella, Scott Horton.
Got no one to kick it to, though.
Scott Horton's got no one.
Yeah.
Hand pass came over, and they run the ball out of the danger zone through Dan Mullen. Over towards the centre wing it goes. Tell you what, he's been good today too, Ryan Smith. Still battling for the footy. Loose ball now. Kooi Rup needing to strike a blow if they're to get back into the game. Kick over to the centre wing, finds Ben Collins, the coach.
So Collins on that centre wing position, delivers the footy towards half forward, but it was a bit lucky that mark wasn't taken, but the Cobras are still backing each other up, getting the ball going backwards to go forwards. Now the long kick, but the big man Horton's there, and big Scott Horton takes the mark easily. So looking to see where he's going to go. Back to Miller. Miller's left foot kick is just a little one, but it was David Main that was able to interfere with the footy and hold them up. Nearly a fresh air shot, but Langley's there. His left foot kick goes long in towards Gillis, and he takes the mark. His leg's not great all the same.
No, he's showing signs of being anxious about that hammy. But Ryan Gillis, he's already kicked 4 for the Cobras today. And this would almost certainly be the sealer, you would think. And Ryan Gillis, from about 30 out, has missed to the right. So the Demons live to fight further.
So you can see the scoreboard there. 79 versus 55. It is getting dark as the lights on the scoreboard show. Now it's going to be Miller to bring the ball down the line. Big Hortons there, couldn't take the mark, however. And it's a little on ball is there for Cora Lynn, able to hold the footy up.
Just inside the centre square here. Coralin just happy to maintain possession at the moment. Lock things up. It'll be another ball up.
Well, it's 6.5 minutes gone to the final quarter. And every minute precious for Koo Wee Rup to get up and onto the scoreboard. Yeah, time's ticking by as a little kick comes out of the pack and sends it forward Coralin's way. Miller's there. His hand pass was ineffective. Clark goes in, cops one high, and he'll win the free kick.
Another one. And Dave Collins again. I reckon that might be his third for back chat to the umpire.
Well, it can be very costly, as we've seen today. And Ricky Clark will put the last nail in the coffin here, you'd think, for Koo Wee Rup.
Just have to be better, unfortunately. I understand frustrations at time, and Koo Wee Rup have probably had the worst of the decisions today, but there's nothing you can do about it. You can't influence the umpires, but you can influence the game by back chat.
So Ricky Clark from the gold line virtually. Certainly won't miss this, and that is Coralin's 13th goal, and you would think the ball game.
Interesting to see what they do with Ryan Gillis here now. I'd be pretty certain that he's got some sort of hamstring strain. Again, like I said, he's probably not quite thinking straight, and perhaps next week and the rest of the year, I'd be probably looking if Coralin kicked another one that he'd come off, rest him up, try and minimise the damage. Again, it's a fine line at the moment. It's out to 5 goals. Another one, you'd probably wrap him up. For Koo Wee Rup, they need to fight on. They need to kick a couple. One thing I know about the competition is the ladder's really tight, so percentage will matter. They can't afford to drop away completely. Another couple of goals here might be a double chance or a home final for them at some stage.
Yes, a lot of things come into it. You've got to be aware of them all.
Yeah, absolutely, and also just for maybe the next time, if they play Coralin in a final and they're, it's 5 goals now, they can say that look, we did run over and we kicked the last 2 or 3. So you've always got to be looking for a positive in a game of football.
8.5 minutes gone to the final quarter as the ball's back in the centre. They jostle there for the ruck contest. As the little hand pass came out, Kerrigan gets hold of the football, gets it moving forward. You've got to go forward hard, and Matty Cameron's long kick goes high into that forward line. Mitch Collins is back there. He picks up the foot, he looks at the goals, but he's offline on this occasion. Didn't zero in on it quite. Through for minor score.
Did they rely too much on Mitch Collins up there, Aussie?
I was saying to Benno, it's at half-time, it might have been three-quarter time. The thing, they do rely on him too much, and the opposition team, after quarter time, Coralin just got extra numbers back into Mitch's space because they go there 99% of the time. They need to find another forward. Obviously, Caltiri's the one. He's gone on ball now. He's actually having an influence too, Caltiri, now. He's gone on the ball, but they're still falling down across half-forward.
Helsby did it well for Coralin. Boots in towards the centre. Gillis is there. Took it easily. Beautifully done. Gets on with it straight away. He's got Langley lurking, and Langley marks. Thought about the hand pass. Decides he'll go back and have a shot.
What great forward vision that time by Ryan Gillis. He saw him out the back and found him too, Nathan Langley.
Yeah, good play. A really strong mark, but then just to have the composure to understand that he'd taken a good mark, but he had to roll on, try and get out the back of the Koo Wee Rup numbers, and he did it. Langley had plenty of space.
So Nathan Langley has 2 goals to present. Comes in with that left boot, puts it on its way, and he stays at 2 goals for the day. And Coralin go on to 13-8-86 to 8-8-56.
And the lights on the scoreboard standing out there, as you can see, like a beacon. So
it's a great scoreboard, isn't it?
It is. The light, the natural light is dull here at the moment as Miller's long kick. High fly on that occasion by Kerrigan. Couldn't take the specky though. Opens up the chance for Coralin through the agency of McKay. He streams in towards goal. Misses to the right. So having plenty of pings at the moment.
11 minutes gone of this quarter, and 31 points to margin as the ball shot out towards Craig Dyker, and it's out of bounds on the full, is it, or has the mark been taken? The boundary umpire is not quite certain. He's started to run off, and they're going to allow the mark. I'd like to see the replay.
They got away with one there, I think.
Got to have something going for you.
The chance here now for Miller. He's long kick, switches sides of the ground. Even contest here. Diving on the footy was Galanti. Did it well in the end. Spears it in towards the centre wing, but there's that man again, Smith. He's been good.
In towards that forward area. A kick at the goals. That's by Jackson Dalton. Through for a point. So they're, as you were saying a little earlier, they're having shots at goal, but they could be really helping their percentage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the result is probably beyond doubt, but it definitely would be if they'd sort of taken 2 or 3 of these. Maybe easy chances that these sort of guys would normally kick.
So it's going to be Ben Miller again to bring the ball back into play for the Demons. And a stabbing pass puts it on the chest of Josh Winter.
So Winter now for Koo Wee Rup. Time running out for them. 28 points the margin. Kick came into Cameron. Wasn't ready for it. Bounced off his chest. They work it towards the line and see it over and out.
I think he took his eye off the footy, didn't he? And looked at the man that was coming the other way. And if he kept his eye on the footy, he might have taken it.
Yeah, it would have taken a nice, easy chest mark.
When it comes in front of the Demons bar. Knocked down by Cameron. And here the supporters urging their players on as they work it towards the line again. Tim Miller in the forefront. And he ends up a bit of mud on him.
I love country supporters. Have a look, umpire.
He's been doing it all day.
There's a ball thrown back into play and comes to the front. And Nathan Gillis gets the ball forward for the Cobras. Across the line again. Must be near Sean Rogash's area there. That's in front of the bar, isn't it? The shuffle bar. No, Sean, because he's out the back of it.
Well, last we heard he was with the lady, so in it comes. Between wing and half forward here for Coralin. If you just feel like they're going through the motions at the moment now, that was Muratori got his foot to the ball. Gillis got rid of his opponent, sprints after the footy. That'll test out the hammy. Had an air shot at it. They battle for the ball right near the behind post here. Ball still in play. Umpire giving them every chance. Play on, he says. And eventually it came over here towards Galanti. He's wrapped up. Still a loose footy.
Clark has it. He loses it after the tackle. They go in again once more, and working back there is Gilliano. Hands and knees all over it. He wants the footy all right. Goes in and gets it. It's underneath them all, and the umpire will ball it up.
It's only about 20 metres out from goal. Coralin with the game in their keeping. Horton threw his foot at the ball and missed it. In there battling hard was Jason Tone. Goes over the line with the ball. 8-8 to 13-10.
Ryan Gillis is coming off now. Obviously, David Main's made the call that results Coralin's way, although they are having some arguments, but I'd be getting Gillis off.
He's sticking around. Yeah, he's calling for it. As the ball shot towards the goals, though, and through for a minor score.
Like trying to get the ball out of a fast bowler's hand when he's taking a couple of wickets, isn't it? He's waving to the crowd as he comes off Ryan Gillis. I think that's what he's doing anyway, as Koo Wee Rup bring the ball around that outer flank.
Gee, I tell you.
They go back to Miller here. And Miller has the ball in the back pocket, but they need to be making something happening, not just racking up possessions.
As working back there, David Collins, was it, that got the ball off towards the centre wing position. Running onto it was Josh Winter, but it came away from him, and it was Koo Wee Rup that have to work now to try and retrieve the footy, because back in there is Nathan Gillis. His kick goes in towards Clark. He's collected in the marking contest. It's his free kick. If not the mark, the advantage paid, is it? Did they kick the goal? They have. Is the umpire going to give it? Let's wait and see.
Confusion reigns.
He shouldn't, because he did stop the game and brought it back, but he shouldn't have. He should have let it go.
Yeah, he's going to bring it back. Another touch here coming up for Ricky Clark. He's been good today. As good a player as he is, he'll kick this from just outside 50 and late in a game.
No chance.
Can't get that distance. Sorry, Rico.
Just look for the short ones.
Come on, Ricky, prove Aussie wrong.
Just getting some feedback myself from Ryan Gillis. He's getting involved with the commentary here as well, old Friday, so best on, he's telling me.
Ricky Clark has the ball for Cora Lynn. Will he prove Aussie Jones wrong? Skips in. The veteran puts it on its way. He kicked it a mile, but off target.
He let you off just.
He did. He got the distance, but perhaps in going for it, just lost a bit of control.
So this has been a good effort by Coralin today. As you can see, nearly 17 minutes gone as Miller brings the ball back into play yet again. It's all Coralin there, though. Dropping in to take the mark was Dalton.
So Dalton's looking to see who's on offer. He's wanting them to move for him, and now delivers it. I'm not sure if it was intercepted on the mark, if it was touched or not. But anyway, it's over the boundary line for a throw-in on that pocket. 17.5 minutes gone. Not many scores this quarter. Could be a shorter one.
Hey. Cobras with their game and they're keeping no doubt about that. They've got it in their forward line again. Winter got a little hand pass out, but they're under plenty of pressure back there. There goes Clark in again. The umpy says, give it to me.
Probably one of the things you'd have to say that Kooi Rup haven't had a lot of easy kicks, have they? Because Coralin's pressure's been terrific.
Yeah, it's been outstanding all day. Probably a couple of their unheralded players. Guys like Brady White plays in through the middle and will do that negative type role. Even Chris McKay, they get him for about 8 or 9 games a year. I think he's got a role within the St Kilda Football Club on game day, which restricts his ability to play. But I think those guys have put a lot of pressure on the key Kooi Rup ball movers.
So a little bit of
I love you, mate.
Testing out the strength of the jumpers down there. And Helsby will have a shot for goal out of all of that.
Already has 3, so he can add to that total with this kick. Puts the ball on away, stabs at it, misses to the near side, so through from behind. The netball girls are enjoying the footy down there on the fence.
Yes, come over to support their boyfriends and brothers and fellow club members.
Probably even sons sometimes. Some of the mums play netball for a fair while, and their 18-year-old, 17-year-old boy might be out there.
Yes. As I say, it's the centre of the community at country footy. Here's a chance for Nathan Gillis. Round the body he goes. Hooks it back. Langley was high. Took a perler. He's been good today, Nathan Langley.
That leap you spoke about early, Benny, it's pretty good, isn't it?
And it's a ripper. I think he's hurt himself, though. Can he get up? He'll get up.
Or is it just a bit of cramp?
I think it's a bit of cramp.
Prone to cramp. Old Boo, as he's known within the Coralin Footy Club, Nathan Langley, does get a lot of cramp.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, probably might have something to do with it. I'm not sure how he got it, but Nathan Gillis is one I reckon stepped up in the second half. He's had a really, really big second half, big influence.
So it's Nathan Langley dead in front after that Butte mark, and he's put it through. That's their 14th for the day. They go further away.
Been a pretty strong effort, hasn't it? Second half for Coralin. Just plenty of ball users. Haven't relied on too few. They've been able to open up the ground a little bit, use the ball really well, and probably good for their confidence too. They went down to Nanagoon last week, who are in really good form. They've dropped a couple this year, Coralin, but this will certainly get them back on track and get their confidence back up.
It's nice, isn't it, to be in a match of the day, top versus third, and you're the away player and the away team, and you end up winning the game. Yeah, nice feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure David Main will be very, very happy with his side's performance. Even early on when it was a little bit scrappy, they held their head high, played a good brand of football, and made sure their pressure was always high on Kooi Rup.
So up they go. Just saw a replay of that great mark by Langley too. Great effort as Kerrigan boots it high up towards centre half forward. The ball fisted away from Collins. Lurking at the base of the pack was Galante. Got it over towards Ben Collins. It's knocked away from him. Good work again by the Cobra defence. And you can see the car lights there, how
gloomy it is.
Dark it is actually overhead.
Going to be a tough one for the player of the day today. Plenty in conjunction.
We'll let Aussie pick it. We'll give him the hard job.
So the ball thrown back into play and trying to burst through was Daniel Caltieri. He can't get away with the footy because the tackles are just too tough.
I might actually back away, just with the personal touch that I've got and knowledge of the guys. I might let you guys pick this one.
Fair enough. And the kick coming in there from Caltieri, but marked in the last line of defence. And Coralin with a game well in their keeping. 41-point leaders. We've been playing nearly 22 minutes in this final quarter. As they work the ball back in towards the centre. Coming out to take the mark is Tone.
So he plays on straight away, looking for Dalton, and he takes the mark. Plays on straight away. That was clever. Good work here. Can he line up the goals and go bang? He does. Straight through the centre. Classic style. That's their 15th for the day.
Following the trend, isn't it? It's just the game's opened up. Plenty, a lot more space. Obviously, might have been a little bit lucky Dalton there in the contest not to give away a free kick. But as soon as he had control of the ball, he knew that he had the fresher legs, put the foot down and gave himself a little bit of space, which is what we've seen a fair bit of in the second half. The Coralin have been able to just run the game out a little bit better. Their ball use has gone up, and at the same time, perhaps Kooi Rup have just stopped with that defensive run.
Confident kick at goal though.
Dolts doesn't lack too much confidence there. When he's inside 50, he'll have a crack.
103 plays, 56. Been a good effort today by Coralin, the reigning premier in the Ellinbank District Football League. As the ball spills over once again to Tone. Tone spears it into Langley, goes over his head, might bounce all the way through for a goal. It rolls through. They can do no wrong now, the Cobras.
Well, I wonder if Langley knew that was the case, that it was going to go straight over the top and straight through for a goal.
Or he was just trying for a free kick, I'm not sure, but it was all good in the end for them. Fortuitous.
It was fortuitous. But it's looking a nice scoreline there for Coralin. 16-13, 109 to 8-8, 56.
Ball back in the centre. We've been playing now 23 and a half minutes in this final quarter. First versus third in the Ellinbank District Footy League. Coralin have done it well today. Knocking off the top side. Came over here towards Brady White. In towards full forward. And once again, it's that man Langley.
It's got ugly, hasn't it, in the second half for Kooi Rup. I think their main focus will have to be perhaps they lost focus. I sort of highlighted a few times. They just gave away free kicks. They took their eye off the ball, took their eye off what they needed to do to get back into the game. And while all that was happening, Coralin was sort of focused on their ball movement and kicking goals, and they just broke the game open in that time. So for the coaching staff at Kooi Rup, it'll be about concentration, making sure the focus is right. Next time they're challenged, how do they stand up and what do their leaders do?
Nathan Langley goes bang. He puts through another one. He's been terrific all day. Plenty of high fives down in that forward line for Coralin.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I've missed another Langley goal there. He might have kicked more than 4.
He'll know. If he comes to the bench, we'll just ask him.
So what you're telling us is a lot of players with confidence at Coralin. So how difficult was it to coach?
Well, I had a very, very minor role. It was lucky that Trav Marsham had a really good nature, a strong nature. Discipline was the number one focus within the group, and if they stepped outside it was unacceptable. So it wasn't allowed to continue on. And imagine how hard that was with Langley, Dalton, Gillis all in the 1 forward 50.
So the ball again thrown up in the centre of the ground, and it's going to be Brady White that got hold of the footy. They go backwards. Allen's there. Kick off the ground that time by Caltieri. Picking the ball up now is Galanti. Free kick. For incorrect disposal goes against them. Everything's going against Kooi Rup at the present time.
Comes over here now towards Muratori. Takes the mark, feeds off the hand pass. Long kick. Dalton tries to thread his way through. He'll pick it up now, but the umpire's found something here. He's picked out a free kick. It's going to go Koo Wee Rup's way on this occasion.
Yeah, Brody Yap will receive it. It was for holding the man. But nobody really wanted the footy in that contest. They all wanted the free kick. So Yap goes into the centre of the ground. Galante's back there, gets around his opponent nicely, spears the ball out wide. There's something. They're on here. It's going to be Liam Hetherington with it, but he didn't get it. In the end, Ben Collins did. One way or the other, then off the side of his boot into the 10-metre square. Big Mitch Collins is there over the back. A shot at the goals.
That's through.
It is through too.
Belated goal to the Demons. But they needed more of those.
Yeah, earlier in the day too.
So there we see the Koo Wee Rup bench. But they'll be doing a bit of homework after today.
Yeah, they will. They'll review it well. Even that, I'd try and get some vision of that for the review of Koo Wee Rup's game. They took a risk. They went through the middle. They moved the footy quick and it put the Coralin defence under pressure. It's probably something they haven't done a lot of all day.
So the ball again in the centre of the ground, and it was that time Corrigan that overran the footy, so it's going to be Cora Lynn into attack again.
Giuliano's there, the little terrier that he is, looking for the free kick, didn't get it. Jason Tone also. And again, I tell you what's getting hard to pick up the players over that side of the ground in the dark. Cobras surging forward. Langley's there again, but has the ball paddled away from him. In the forward line here, Tone again. Been busy in the second half in particular. But it's pretty scrappy stuff over there at the moment. And eventually, the boundary line wins out. It'll be a throw-in.
So on the half-forward line here for Coralin as the ball's thrown into play. Kerrigan jumps over the top, punches it forward, but really not to his own advantage or team's advantage. Long kick comes in, but a good mark taken in defence by Healy. He's in the right in the teeth of goal. Sorry, that goes across to Healy. Missed that player who had the footy. So it's going to be Ryan Healy in the back pocket position to kick down the line. Bounces awkwardly. Pushing and shoving was Wilby. It's out the back there. Chance for Dalton. He's taken across the boundary line and there will be a throw-in.
So nearly 29 minutes gone in the final quarter here. Cora Lynn with the game wrapped up. Caroline in the morning. And it comes, and there's the final siren. Good win to Coralin. 17-13, 115 have defeated Koo Wee Rup 9-8-62. So a big effort there by the Cobras. So a great win to Coralin, and a very happy coach David Main is out there with Sean Rogash.
And David, a great win really against a traditional rival.
Yeah, no, fantastic win for our footy club today. Not just us, I think all four grades got up today, so as a club, really good day for the Coralin Footy Club.
Oh, fantastic day for the club, and heading into the finals now, only sort of a month and a bit away, it must be a good confidence boost to have such a strong win against a team that looks like they'll be around the mark as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Finals is around the corner now, and how tight our competition is this year is this game today was very important for us to get the win, and hopefully it sets us up for the second half of the year going into finals.
And it looked like as soon as the sort of rain cleared up in the second half, that's really when your team took control of the match, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, we managed to change a few things up and started running and carrying the footy a bit more, and overall, that what got us over the line, ability to run defensively, but then also win the footy and going forward was great. So yeah, really good.
And having a look at some of the theatrics from some of the boys, it looked like there was probably a few on your team that didn't mind having the live broadcast showing them off a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. In particular, obviously Nathan Langley taking that hanger in the goal square. A couple other guys as well. But yeah, definitely they love the opportunity to have the game live. It's fantastic on Channel 31.
Fantastic. Well done today, and we'll let you get back to the boys.
No worries. Thanks, Sean.
High-leaping Coralin forward Nathan Langley was a sensation in today's game. He's out there with Benny.
So Nathan, fantastic performance today. Come to the game and match of the day. You really had to perform, and you did.
Yeah, well, it was a tough ask. coming off an injury, and I knew they were going to rip into me. But yeah, it was just good to get over the line.
What about the team's performance?
Team, unreal. 21 men, they all gave it their all. It was really good.
So in the match of the day like this, where big crowds here, must do you good and your confidence good to be able to come away with a win after being defeated last week.
Yeah, well, we all love the big dance when, like, obviously you guys come down, and we always perform.
Anyway, congratulations. Loved your mark there in the last quarter.
Yeah, well, he just held me up. I was like, oh, I'm just going to just go with it. So, yeah.
Congratulations. Well done. Well played today.
Nah, cheers, mate. Thanks.
Good on you, Nathan.
Cheers.
And back here at Kooi Rup, just repeating that final score. Coralin 17-13, 115. Too good for Kooi Rup, 9-8-62. And we'd like to thank you for tuning in today for this telecast of live country footy. And a big thank you to our special guest commentator, Aussie Jones. Great job, Aussie, and thanks for your insightful comments.
Thank you. Absolutely love being part of it.
Thank you, everybody, and thanks to our fantastic team here who worked so hard today for making all of this happen on this historic telecast. So until our next one, we'll say bye for now and take you back to the studios of Channel 31.
Today's game brought to you by John Duff & Co, Koo Wee Rup Community Bank, Royal Hotel Koo Wee Rup, and Tank Formers.